Hello, I'm MC Toon, and it's Tuesday night. We've got a debate, as is what we usually do. Tonight, I have, all the way from Japan, Jin. Welcome, Jin.
Welcome. Thanks for the invite, Mike, to your server, your channel. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, some people on the Gems debate Flat Earth and More server suggested you. So
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's why I'm actually here. So that's a big shout out to Queen, who is the chief moderator there, and a big shout out to Gem Panda, who is the owner of the server, the top man. Thanks for linking me to MC Toon. Appreciate that. And you give me a chance to teach Mike about the flat earth truth, of course. So yeah, big shout out to them. Great server. And it's a tough experience, but there you go. Thanks a lot.
all right. Well, Jin, Jin had told me earlier that he's going to teach me a bunch about the heliocentric model. So bring forth the teaching.
Well, I thought I could just do a little bit of a shout out first, if that's okay.
Yes.
Do you
Go
mind?
ahead. Yep.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you listening in the live stream today, Jin CBR1 here, and I just want to give thanks to the debate Flat Earth and More server with Gem Panda and Queen as the top moderator there. Then I want to go on to thank JJ, who's in that server. He's always got my back. And then on to what I consider the great Flat Earth content producers since 2015, and that would be Mark Sargent, Generism, Dave Weiss from Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. You've got ODD TV, Celebrate Truth. Those of you who are Christians will like this channel. They're excellent. Celebrate Truth. We've got Eric Dubay. Thanks again, Eric. Good stuff. Dave Murphy. Allegedly Dave, greatest lie ever told, a great man of impeccable integrity. We have Earth Awakenings server, another brilliant one. We also have Roxanne Glenn and Harry from the Globe Live Tour. Jason of the family Disbury, another man. Look out for him in next year. He's doing magnificent stuff. Quantum Eraser. Robert Pisano from the channel Planete Veritas. Please look him up. Robert Pisano, I say again. Nathan Oakley. Rhetoric channel, which you heard about, Mike, and finally FE Reality, Flat Earth Reality with Battle Mod and Flat Earth Banjo. He is the azimuthal equidistant map expert. I'm finished. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right.
All right. So yeah, I mean, how are we going to do this?
Well, generally, in a debate, the person that is has the position that is counter to the generally accepted position is the one that begins, and they state their positive position along with their evidence.
Okay, well, I mean, if that's going to be the position, then yeah, here we go then. Well, really, my problem with the heliocentric model is that back in 2015, it was brought to my attention that the Earth isn't a spinning ball or an ovate spheroid hurtling through the vastness of space. And I was shocked by that. So, and my gripe is, when I was a young boy of like 8 years old, I was educated that the Earth is a globe. Now, at the age of 8, I did not have the insight or the intellect to ask the question of proof, because I believe that if I am being taught that the Earth is a globe, it should be backed up with evidence, because those who are making the claim that the Earth is a globe need to back that up with evidence. And I haven't found, in the 60 years that I've been alive, I haven't seen a single shred of evidence. I took it on belief. That meant what I learnt at school as an elementary school boy, I carried that through to my secondary education, where it was reinforced. And then I went on to university and business college. It was reinforced through that. And then through movies, music, news, popular culture. So I didn't actually look into it itself. And by that, I mean, search for the evidence. I took it on trust that what I learnt was accurate from the teachers, the professors, the astrophysicists, theoretical physicists alike, astronomers and scientists and professors. They were correct as far as I was concerned. So I didn't check it, I uploaded it. But we fast forward to 2015 now. I was 53 years old at the time. That was when I was shocked that I had made a mistake. And that mistake was not actually checking and to confirm that the Earth is indeed a globe. That's my position so far. Are you with me?
I get your position. So you've stated your position. Okay.
Right, that's my position, right? That I'm not able to find any curvature whatsoever. Now, why do I say this? Okay. I've had to go back into my past. So I started traveling 1970 with my family. We went to Nigeria by plane. Now, I remember that plane flight because it was the first time that I had ever flown. And just prior to flying, I did a project at elementary school on aeroplanes. So I was doubly excited with my two younger brothers, my mum and dad. I don't remember the plane following a curved trajectory at all. What I remember is the plane being leveled all the way, looking at the clouds. It was a leveled flight as a child. I've since gone on to travel many places. I don't want to list them, but I've traveled many places across this beautiful flat earth we live on. And I haven't experienced curved trajectory during flight. That's my first go-to there. Because if the Earth is indeed a spherical ball, okay, an oblate spheroid, and you leave England to go to Africa, let's say, there should be a trajectory of curved trajectory that one would experience that I didn't at all. Didn't even see the curvature of the Earth. I've never seen the curvature of the Earth in 60 years that I've lived. Do you get me so far?
Yep.
Would you like to address that point that I raised, that I'm not able to feel curvature during flight?
I suppose we could ask then, how much curvature should you feel, and how did you do the math and analysis of it?
Okay, well, basically, if you're looking like traveling, let's say we travel from the UK to New Zealand, that is a 19-hour flight. And if you're looking at the globe model, and you're looking at the position, the geographic position of the UK, England, Great Britain, and New Zealand, we can almost, I think you would agree with me there, that it's almost 180 degrees, wouldn't you say? Almost.
It's a significant portion. Are there direct flights between New Zealand and England?
Yes, there are. Qantas,
okay.
19 hours. Qantas, they do that. They do it to LA as well.
Yeah. So can you do I got some paper ready so we can do the math.
Well, I mean, basically, it's 19 hours. You can. Okay. It's for layman's terms here. You've got a spherical ball. You know exactly where the UK is, and you know exactly where New Zealand is, which is almost at the bottom of the ball. I do have a basketball here just to help you along. 1 second, so you don't get lost. Sorry there. 1 second, ladies and gents. I'm just getting my basketball that I have handy. Being an avid sportsman, I love the game. Right, here we go. Now, so if you can see, I'm sure you can see this ball. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So if you can see that, if you can imagine that England is here, okay, England is here, and then you've got New Zealand down here. So that's you can almost agree that that's like 180 degrees. So it's a substantial amount of the globe, isn't it?
Okay.
And it's 19 hours of flight. And if we're up here, right, let me get one more prop. Hold on a second. One more prop. Just to help you along, I do have a Japan airline aircraft. So you can see what I mean. And you will understand fully where I'm coming from. There we go. Japan Airlines. Right. Now. Sorry for the break, ladies and gents. I should have had my props ready. Didn't think I was going to need them. But here you go. Right. Okay. So now you can see the problem we've got here. The angle of the aircraft. It's already tipping, so that it's not horizontal. Yeah, okay. And then when you follow the curvature of the Earth, the Earth's surface, which you must do because we're supposed to be on a ball, okay, you begin to see that the aircraft starts to, it's no longer horizontal, isn't it? It is now going vertical, and now it's going antipodal, and that's what we should experience if we fly. But we didn't. I didn't experience that at all.
Yeah. Could I just ask, on the globe, which direction is down? Right.
That's a great question. Yeah, that is a fantastic question.
Well, because
down is where my feet is. That's the first thing.
No. Bring the ball back.
A second, please. Please let me finish. Down is where my feet is, and up is where the sky is. That's it. That's right. Up and down.
So show me on the ball. Grab that ball again and show me. Just pick a point and point your finger toward down.
Any point here would be down to where my finger is, and anything up away from the ball would be the up.
Okay, so the position of down changes as you go along. I just want to make sure you understand the globe.
It doesn't. No, not on the globe. It doesn't change at all. Up is always up. It doesn't change. Okay. You cannot change.
So now
that position.
Don't move
it's
the
always
ball.
Up.
Don't move the ball in your hand.
What should be changing? Hang on a second, Mike. What should be changing is the degrees in increments as you're flying across the surface of the Earth. Okay, it cannot be that you are horizontal on a spherical ball. That's impossible. And in engineering, if you have a ball bearing that has a flat spot, it's rejected immediately. So on a oblate spheroid with the curvature, because what we're talking about now, the curvature, there is no horizontal point on that at all. It wouldn't be curved then.
Well, could you just humor me? There's a letter M on there. I can see the letter M.
Okay.
All right. Now point your finger. Touch your finger on the letter M somewhere, and then point
the letter M.
Point down with your finger.
Down would be like this. Down would be where the finger is touching the ball. That would be down. When I lift it off, now I'm going off. I'm going up.
Okay. All right. Now on the J, do the same thing on the J there.
J. Where's my J? Japan. Oh yeah, J.
Okay.
Right. It's still going to be the same. It's still going to be the same now. But now from that position, the angle has increased.
Yeah. So the angle of down changes.
Wait a minute, please. Yeah. Please pay attention. From the M to the J, now we have an increase in angle. Now, do you understand? We're moving further down the ball. So now we're moving to the point where
down
we're
is towards the center.
Can you see that?
The down is towards the center.
That's what we should experience when we fly. We should be experiencing following the surface of the Earth. Can you see that? That's God's law. That is not. That has got nothing to do with science.
Down is towards the center.
This is natural law of a spherical ball.
Yeah, down is towards the center.
Can you see? Can you see what's happening to my aeroplane?
I can. And down is towards the center. And so the orientation of...
Can you see what's... Look at the aircraft. Can you see what's happening to the aircraft?
Jin, multiple times I've said I can see it.
Right. Now, can you see how it's going upside down now? Yeah?
No, it's in fact not going upside down.
And the top of the ball is the North Pole. So the North Pole is the top. That's why it's top. And New Zealand and Australia are down under.
Jin, it seems that you don't understand how the globe works.
That is exactly how it should be working in natural law. Well, if you're not following natural law, then we're in the realms of pseudoscience.
I've got this.
That's where we're heading now.
So here
if we're not going to follow, if we're not going to follow natural law, where I put my hand on the ball and I watch it naturally fall antipodal from the top to the bottom antipodal, anything else is pseudoscience.
Okay, well, I think you don't.
That's natural law. That's not my law. That's the law of the creator that created spherical balls and life that we live. Yeah.
Can I have a chance to talk now, Jin? Jin, can I have a talk?
Yes,
do I get a chance? Okay. On the globe, this pen right here is pointing down.
Yep.
Okay, that's pointing down. And now the pen is pointing down for this location. Down is orthogonal to the horizontal at a point.
I'm sorry, that's what we call pseudoscience. That's what we call pseudoscience. Because
what is the demarcation?
Down is always
Jin, what is the demarcation between science and pseudoscience?
Always where your feet are. Always where
Jin.
your feet are is where
So,
down
so
is.
you said,
And
but Jin,
up is away
yeah,
the opposite
Can I
direction
can
from
I
where
ask
your
you a
feet
question,
are,
Jin?
which is always the sky. Always the sky.
Yeah, Jin,
That's
can
where
I
up
ask you a
is.
question?
Yeah.
What is the
Go ahead.
demarcation between science and pseudoscience?
Sorry?
What is the demarcation between science and pseudoscience?
Yeah, when it starts to move away from the scientific method and natural law, it becomes pseudoscience. So when you're asking
Actually,
me
that's
to do, let's say you're
incorrect.
asking me to do away with my
That is
senses,
that
because
is
that's what's
actually
required for the
not.
heliocentric model.
That is
You
actually
can't
not
use
the
your
demarcation,
senses,
Jin.
and you've got to believe.
Jin, don't
That's-
if you pause for a second. That is not the demarcation between science and pseudoscience. The demarcation between science and pseudoscience is actually generally whether or not something is falsifiable. That's the demarcation.
That's correct. That is correct.
Okay,
And
so
I did say following. I did say adhering to the scientific method.
no,
It
no,
has to adhere
no,
to the scientific method.
no,
because
I
if it
did not.
doesn't,
I did
then
not
it
say
falls
that.
into you
I'm
can't
sorry.
you can't verify it.
I'm sorry.
And then that's
Falsif-
pseudoscience. We're in the realms of
Falsifiability. Falsifiability
yes,
is the demarcation.
falsifiability via
Yes.
the scientific method.
I'm sorry, no, that is not actually it. There is
That is
no
it.
there is no the scientific
standard.
method. No,
That
it
is
is
the
not.
standard.
In fact,
There is.
in fact,
the
that is not.
scientific method is what the scientists use to hold a standard so that they cannot.
Yeah, that is
start
not actually how
lying.
scientists do their
Hang
work.
on, please let me finish, Mike. Don't start lying and go into using speculation, but it's not provable. That's why they use the scientific method. It's to hold them to a standard of integrity. That's why. That's there. And if you don't follow that method, then you're in the realms of speculation and pseudoscience.
Well, I've got right here Karl Popper's
Yeah.
The Logic of Scientific Discovery, which is what
Okay,
scientists generally point to as the one of the better descriptions between that goes through the demarcation between science and not science specifically.
Right.
Chapters 3 and 4 specifically address the demarcation in detail, being falsifiability, not talking about the application of the scientific method. There is no particular scientific method.
Well, this is it. You see, this is what we're trying to say to you, that the standards that are required today, because we, the flat earthers, we are redefining the standards. This is why we're all in a mess and a confusion. Okay, hang on a second.
Okay.
I will finish. So we are telling you now, and I couldn't care less about the book, because if I met the author, I would say, I'm sorry, if you're going to try and tell me that the earth is a globe, you're going to need to prove it using the scientific method. And if you can't do that, and we can't falsify it, where are we? Into the realms of pseudoscience. So I will stand my ground, and I will say to you, unless your model follows the natural law and the scientific method, it's pseudoscience. I don't care what book you bring to me. That is the standard of integrity that I operate under.
Then this is, I mean, we kind of got off track. This is your time to present evidence for flat Earth, the positive evidence for flat Earth.
What I'm doing is, what I am trying to do is, because if I speak, it's going to be a very long time. There's a lot to get through. So rather than do that, I'm making it in increments.
Pick one at a time.
My first point is, I am not able to experience curvature through flight.
Okay, right? But I'm asking for positive evidence for flat Earth. So go ahead.
Yes, but I'm getting to that. Okay, I said to you, first of all, that we're taught about the globe. So there's got to be a background work, and that's what this is, basically. Okay? So basically, looking at that globe, there's no curvature there. That's the first thing. Right, and we don't, and the reason I said that is, one, I don't experience that through flight. Okay, that's the first thing. Whenever I'm in an aeroplane, I can see great distances. The horizon comes up to my eyeball. That is indicative of being on a flat surface. For if you are on a curved surface, the curvature and the horizon would fall away from you as you rise up.
Could you show the measurements of the horizon rising to eye level?
I can't give you
because
the maths.
Certainly the scientific method.
Please, you've asked me. Allow me to answer.
Certainly, the scientific method would require a measurement. So please present that.
Yes. It would depend on the altitude of the aircraft. Now, according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, the world's #1 astrophysicist, I think he is, right?
He's not here.
He stated on stage with a female accomplice holding a globe.
Yeah, but he's
talking
not
about
here.
the Felix von Gardner jump.
Yeah,
He
but
said,
but he's not here.
Why
do you have to go off topic?
No one, and let me finish, please. No one is able to see curvature.
And
from
Felix said he saw it.
120,000 feet
so
up.
I'm going with Felix.
Hang on a second, please. That's 24 miles up. He said that stuff is flat.
Yeah.
That means.
But
Felix
what did
von
Felix
Gardner's
say?
Jump, when we
Jin.
saw Mexico, he said that was clearly
Jin.
a fisheye lens, GoPro
Jin.
fisheye lens.
Jin, what did Felix say he saw with his own eyes?
I don't care what Felix said. With his
Neil
own
wasn't
eyes.
there.
I don't care
Felix
what
was
he
there.
said. I'm looking at what Neil deGrasse said.
Oh, but Neil wasn't there.
Said, and he said
Neil
that
wasn't
Felix
there.
von Gardner was wrong.
Felix was there.
Hang on a second, Mike. I'm going to pull you up on that. Hang on. Now, when you look at the jump on the day, and you look into the gondola, in the gondola, the horizon is dead level. And you can see it from the porthole of the gondola inside. It's level. Then you step out.
Curved,
Suddenly, it's a
it's curved.
camera change. And now it's a fisheye lens GoPro.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can see that
it's
in the video.
Yeah,
So I'm sorry.
The video definitely has a strong barrel distortion. So I would never use the curve in that photo or video as any evidence. No, I didn't use that. So no need for you to bring that up because I didn't bring it up. I didn't present it to you as evidence. So
thank you for your honesty there. But listen
asking for you to present evidence.
We are getting
But you
there.
haven't.
We're
But,
getting
and
there.
so hold on a second.
We're getting there.
I'm holding on to this point though. You've claimed that that the horizon rose to eye level, and I'm simply just asking for you to provide the measurement because certainly the scientific method demands a measurement.
For that. I can't provide you any measurements for
then
that.
why would you make that claim? The scientific method will not allow that.
Altitude, they usually fly at like 35,000 feet,
Certainly
40,000 feet, and 51,000 feet. So then you'd have to do the maths as to how far you can see and measure. I mean, you're going to have to do that on the fly.
And the drop of the horizon.
I can't help
absolutely.
you. I cannot help you there, sir.
So then why would you bring that up if you don't have evidence to support it?
It's not I don't have evidence for it.
You want to use this, Jin, you want to use the scientific method.
I can give you a source.
What step of the scientific method is it's self-evident? What step of the scientific method is that?
It's self-evident, but I can give. Have you ever flown?
I have, and in fact, I measured the horizon myself when I flew.
Yeah, you measured the horizon yourself. And you measured curvature. Yes.
I measured the dip of the horizon. Absolutely.
You measured curvature. Did you measure curvature?
I measured the dip of the horizon. That's what you brought up.
The curvature of the Earth is my question.
Jin, no.
Measure and hang on a second, please. Did you measure, see, and then take a photograph because you know you're going to do these debates? Did you actually prepare properly? Measuring doesn't mean diddly to me. Did you take a picture of the curvature of the Earth that you said you saw?
Measuring doesn't mean diddly to you. I thought you were all about the scientific method.
I am about the scientific method.
Okay, so then you do care about measurements.
I'm asking you right now.
Excellent.
Did you take a photograph of the curvature of the Earth that you saw in the plane when you were doing your measurements?
Absolutely. My turn to talk. My turn to talk. All right, I'll go through the whole thing, okay? The topic, the claim from you was that the horizon rises to eye level. So that's specifically about the dip of the horizon.
Correct.
That is the topic.
No curvature.
I personally was in an airplane. I personally used a theodolite app on my phone, which is accurate to 1/10 of a degree, to measure if the horizon rose to eye level, and it did not. Now that is I can go through the scientific method as you demand to do that, to provide the measurement that I did. Now, did you ever do a measurement of the horizon rising to eye level that you can refer to?
No, I did not do a measurement.
Then why would you bring it up?
Hang on a second. I'm answering the question. No, I did not. I did not have to do that because I understand that when you're on a leveled surface, a leveled plane, the horizon, this is natural law again, rises up to your eyeball.
So not the scientific method. So you're throwing out the scientific method. You're ignoring falsifiability.
Hang on.
Okay,
hang on. I haven't finished.
Got it. Pseudoscience is what you're going for.
I never saw the curvature of the Earth at all.
Got it. Yeah. So you're ignoring the scientific method that you said you wanted to follow,
I am not ignoring
instead
the scientific method
just
whatsoever.
starting with your conclusion.
What I'm saying to you is this, yeah, that I did not see with my own eyeballs or experience curvature
sure,
through
but
flight.
when did you apply the scientific method and to get the measurements?
Please. And to help you along, Mike, I showed you the basketball and I showed you what would happen naturally if the plane is flying over a board.
Yeah, the horizon would drop.
Plane go antipodal. I didn't experience that. Never in my life. I'm 60 years old now. I've never seen that in my life, and I'm standing by that. Right now, as for measurements, no, I did not make any measurements.
Okay, so maybe you should move on. Then. You kind of got destroyed there.
Because, as I said to you, no curvature at all has been detected.
Well, I mean, I personally measured the curvature.
Hang on. You've got
personally measured it myself.
And I can list them to you.
I did it.
Right? Hang on.
I measured the curvature myself. I have measurements.
That the Earth
you don't.
Isn't curving, but carry on.
I personally measured it. You don't. So you made the claim about the dip of the horizon.
I'm surprised that you haven't shown me the photograph then.
Oh, absolutely. I can do that. Yep. Give me a second here.
The photograph of the curvature of the Earth, yeah?
Of the dip of the horizon.
That no one can see from
the specific topic.
Feet up. That's 24 miles up. So you're not going to see it at 5 miles. We're not seeing at sea level. I'd like to see this. You're going to be the first person.
Let's review the topic. You ready for the topic? The horizon rising to eye level is the topic, right?
Like I'm saying to you, I want to see the curvature.
No. Oh, you want to change the topic.
If you did the measurements, then you would have captured the curvature of the Earth.
You want to change the topic from the dip of the horizon to the left to right curve of the horizon? I just want to be sure.
No, I'm not talking about left to right curvature. I'm talking about
the dip.
360 degrees curvature of the Earth, which you would see from an aeroplane. Okay, it's not just left to right. It's every single degree that you can see from that plane. So it's not just going to be left to right.
Let's just to be sure.
It's going to be all over.
At 35,000 feet, with a 90-degree field of view, how much should we see? You must have done the math on that.
I can't give you that. I cannot give you that.
Oh, well then you don't know how much, so you can't actually test your claim.
I can test my claim because I'm saying
so it's unfalsifiable. Therefore, pseudoscience.
Hang on a second. I used a bubble app, which is on this phone that I'm using right now. That's a Spirit level app, and that app was level all the way through all my flights. No curving at all. So that's an instrument. I didn't need that instrument. I already knew it myself.
So the topic
being confirmed that.
The topic being the dip of the horizon.
No, the topic.
And you want to change away from the dip of the horizon.
The topic is the lack of curvature of the Earth. Can't see that.
No, but you specifically brought up the topic and said and claimed. Jin, but you claimed
the topic, sir. The curvature of that Earth.
I just want to be clear.
With a camera,
and it seems that you are running away from your claim that the horizon rises to eye level. That was your claim.
It's curvature all the way, son. Curvature, the lack of all the way. That's what it's been.
But you don't know how much to expect.
Lack of curvature.
But you don't know how much to expect, Jin.
That is
at 35,000 feet.
That is the meat in my pie. That is the meat in my sandwich. Man.
When you applied,
that is my foundation.
Jin,
lack of
when
curvature,
you applied,
did you
Jin,
when you measured?
You
when
need
you
to let me
the
talk,
dip
Jin.
Of the horizon, did you measure and photograph the curvature? You're going to do debates here, everybody. Did you do that,
Jin?
Sir? Did you do that?
You need to stop. You need to let me talk. This is a two-way conversation, and you're hogging it.
You're accusing me of running away from my
changing the topic, and you're hogging the conversation, Jin.
And I'm saying to you, it's curvature.
Jin,
carry on.
All right, I will explain myself again. The topic is that you claimed.
Curvature.
I'm sorry. You stop talking. Be an adult and stop talking while I'm talking. Okay?
Okay.
Have some respect for me, Jin.
I've got some respect for you, but don't
stop talking
by saying I'm running away from my claim.
Stop talking, Jin. The topic is you claimed that the horizon rose to eye level. You do not have measurements for it. You claimed that you care about the scientific method and that you claimed that you care about falsifiability. You did not have measurements of the dip of the horizon. I do have measurements of the dip of horizon, and I'm going to send them. I'm going to show them to you, but you're scared because you know that I will have them, and you're changing the topic from the actual topic of the dip of the horizon to something else that is untestable. And you don't know how much curve should be viewed at 35,000 feet. So you don't have any clue whether or not I show you. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop being a child. My turn to talk.
Carry on. Carry on.
My turn. You do not know how much curve should be visible left to right. You don't have any clue at all how much curve you would expect at 35,000 feet. You never did the analysis. So I'm going to show you the dip of the horizon. All right? And then you're going to change the topic and make yourself a liar.
I'm not going to do that at all, sir. It's always been about the curvature, sir. That's what it's always been about.
You said, all right, change the topic.
Hang on.
Dip of the horizon is the topic.
Something? The lack of curvature means that the horizon comes up to my eyeballs. That's what I see. I don't see the curvature anywhere.
Where's your measurements?
At all.
Send your measurements.
Not only that,
you never measured
I can help you with, I can give you a source.
You never measured it.
I haven't measured it myself.
Never.
No, I haven't.
So your claim is without any value at all. I haven't measured it
because it's self-evident. I'm
it's
not seeing curvature.
There's no step of the scientific method that is self-evident.
I haven't seen curvature at all.
But you don't know how much you should see.
That's over long distance observations. During flight, no curvature. That's my first go-to.
But you don't know how much curve you should see.
Because I'm not able to measure how far I'm seeing. I'm not able to measure how far I'm seeing, but I know it's in the hundreds of miles. Okay, but I can't give you an exact.
Clearly, you can't do the math.
I can't do that. I'm not able to do that.
The math is beyond your comprehension, right?
It's not that I'm not using the scientific method. It's that it's self-evident that the Earth is.
There's no part of the scientific method that says it's self-evident.
Listen up, please. I am not measuring any curvature through the flight of the aeroplane.
Jin, you never measured anything.
I'm still talking.
You never measured anything. Why are you saying measure?
My bubble app is registering that the aeroplane is flying horizontal and level. That's my
which is exactly what planes do. You don't understand flight.
No, you don't understand planes on a board. That's what you don't understand, sir. You don't understand how planes
the downward vector changes.
And we have it from jet fighter pilots, aircraft flight instructors, submariners, and aircraft carrier naval personnel. And they've all said that if the Earth was a ball, the equipment couldn't work.
That's so they've said. Without, what are their names? I'd love to interview them.
Yeah, hang on a second. Sorry,
all right, I'm in Skype and I need to change my settings.
Excuse me for that. Right, there you go.
I need to allow.
Skype. Go ahead.
I need to allow Skype
you see, my point is that I used a bubble app to check that the aircraft is flying horizontal. If you're flying on a ball,
what you'd expect
I did show
on a ball.
You what happens to an aeroplane when it starts to follow the curvature of the Earth. And then you have the professionals, the jet fighter pilots, who supposedly protect the free world.
Send me their names. I'll talk to them.
They fly every day of the week, and they said that if they flew from the North Pole to the South Pole, they would be antipodal, and the Earth is not a ball. It's flat. We can see for miles. That's them in flight. So they're the professionals, right? They confront with me, and they are the Johnny-come-latelys, by the way. These guys have only just come into it. So I've been on this. This particular
a couple people making a claim trump a bunch of other people making the claim without providing any evidence. Got it.
Yeah, I can give you the video. It's called Flattening the Curve. It's called Flattening the Curve.
It's just a bunch. Bunch of people making claims and not providing evidence.
Brand new flat Earth video called Flattening the Curve.
I've seen it.
I can send it to you.
It's a bunch of people
DM it to you later.
Making claims and not providing evidence.
Well, I can provide it for you right now. Then, okay, I'll provide it for you right now.
I don't need. I've seen it already. I've seen it already. It's just a bunch of people.
I'm giving you the name, but if you want it, I'll give it to you.
I've already seen
people. They are professionals. You see their name. Hang on, Mike. Mike, you see their names. Okay, have some respect for the so-called military and that. You see their names. Some of them actually provide you with their textbook from college, and they also download PDFs. So the latest version of the textbooks they use at university and college, and it all proves that the Earth isn't flat. Isn't a globe. It's not curving anywhere. And this is the point. I've never run away from my point. My point is curvature and the lack of. That's why it's flat.
So no measurements, though.
It measures flat.
Never with any measurements from you.
I'm going to bring you more evidence. So do you want me to post to this video or not?
Why won't you ever do measurements?
It's not that we don't do measurements. We're getting there. We have a long distance observation in Japan, where I am. From Fukushima, we can see Mount Fuji, 180 miles away.
Okay. Well,
it should be at least 5 miles or 4 miles of curvature there.
Jin, I'm Skype is not behaving for me. I will send you on Discord so you can see the picture I personally took.
Yeah, just send it on Discord. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll share it to people.
Yeah, just send it to Discord, and I can see it from the link that you give me. You know, that's no problem. But like I said, I'm not able to see curvature. That's the first thing, and it's through flight. And you've got professionals in the field explaining to everybody.
Yeah, but we've got professionals in the field saying the Earth is a globe. So professionals versus professionals means nothing.
These are pilots who fly.
Yeah, pilots say the Earth is a globe.
The world day in, day out. 365 days of the year they fly. They fly and they don't fly upside down.
And pilots on the globe say that the Earth is a globe.
Yeah, so what pilots would they be? Would they be the ones that fly in the domestic jet airlines? Is that the ones? Or are they actually military personnel?
Wolfie 6020 was.
Who are you going to trust?
Wolfie 6020 was in the military.
Who?
Wolfie 6020 was in the military, and he is a pilot.
I know Wolfie 6020. I've heard of him.
So there you go. If it's just this person says this and this person says this, that's meaningless. It's measurements. It's evidence.
It's not meaningless at all, because they're showing you how the Earth isn't a globe, and they bring to you the actual documentation, books, PDFs. I haven't got that to hand at the moment, but I can give you the link to that. It's not proving anything at this point in
just
time.
Claims, yeah.
I've shown you the ball. So I've shown you what happens on a ball with an aircraft.
I showed you,
and you've seen the aircraft not being level at all. Then you're asking me a silly question like, which way's up? I mean, that's childish. You say I'm childish. That's a childish question, sir. Which way is up?
Have a look at the picture I sent on Discord.
Every child on this flat Earth knows which way is up and which way is down. Every child knows that. The only thing is some of them are confused at the moment.
Jin, I sent you the picture. What do you?
Okay, I'm looking at it now.
Personally I took it myself. The horizontal line is eye level. That circle there is the moon.
Yeah,
100% below eye level.
Are you in the air at this point?
Yes, and you can see
at the top. Are you in the air at this point?
You can see at the top. I'm at 35,091 feet.
Okay. Again, I don't know. There's something not quite right with it.
You got some denial.
Are you in the pilot seat? Where are you?
Buckets of denial,
Where is this picture taken from? Are you the pilot?
No, I was looking out the passenger window.
Okay, so this is a passenger window shot.
Yep.
All I see is a blue screen.
Do you see that horizontal line?
I only see a blue sky. I don't see any landmass.
You don't see that blue line, that white line across the center there horizontally?
I don't see any land mass.
Yes or no, do you see the white line horizontally across the center?
I'm asking you for the landmass, so therefore I can then determine the horizon from the landmass. But
I'll get you there. You ready?
I'm asking you again. Pay attention. I'm looking at this image you posted me. I can see a square.
Yes.
I can see a cross in the square. I see a white line.
Excellent.
But I don't see the land mass.
Okay. Do you see below the box? There's a line of clouds.
Barely visible.
Yep.
Barely visible in this shot.
Barely visible. That's the clouds. Yep.
Right. Right. But again, it's not a very good shot. When I'm talking about looking at the window, I'm saying that you can see land mass for miles, and then the Earth the whole horizon rising up to your eyeball. Now, when I say to your eyeball, I don't exactly mean to my eye level, right where my eyes are.
Here's another one for you, as requested. Here you go.
One moment. I was talking there. I was just trying to clarify what I mean by eye level, so we don't get confused. When I look out the window, I see the landmass going on a horizontal plane, and it rises up. When I say rise up now, I don't mean to exactly where my eyeballs are. But when I look out far enough, I don't see it falling away as you would do if you're on a curved surface. I see it just expanding, going out in an expanse. And when I look, it appears to be rising to my eye level. It appears to be.
Well, except that it doesn't. When you measure it, it never does.
It's not curving in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, you can see, I sent you a second
Media
one.
One. I was trying to give you the source. Jane Tolman Media One, who did the Hudson Bay, 500 miles, no curvature at all. Everything was dead level. He used an infrared lens camera.
I think Jay Tolan is actually trolling the flat earthers. I suspect.
No, he's not trolling the flat earthers
because
at all.
he's a man of impeccable
integrity.
He never identifies anything correctly
whatsoever. You see the equipment he does. You see him set up the equipment in front of your eyeballs.
All right.
That is the height. That is the highest standard of integrity
you
can display when you're actually out in
the let's go back to the topic here.
Filming yourself.
You seem to be running away from the topic.
He's not a troll. He's not a troll by any standards.
You asked.
I think the heliocentric model is the troll.
Jin, you specifically asked. You said you wanted to see. You wanted to see something. What did you want to see? I sent you a second picture.
That's why I asked you. But
is there dip?
Ask you specifically.
Is there
did you
dip?
Photograph the curvature of the Earth? You didn't.
It absolutely
you did not,
is. Is there dip?
Okay.
You're
I'm not
changing.
seeing curvature.
I understand you have to change the
image you
topic.
posted to me. I am not seeing any curvature of any degree whatsoever.
How much curvature should you see at 35,000 feet?
I should be seeing a noticeable amount of curvature.
How much?
If James Tolman Media can film he can film 500 miles from his aircraft, 500 miles of Hudson Bay. So let's say 500 miles just for simplicity's sake. I'm not seeing that in your image, sir.
How much curve should we see in this image? How much?
I'm not seeing anything that can even begin to determine curvature. There's nothing.
The horizon did not rise to eye level.
Unfortunately, with this image you've posted, it's just useless, sir. It's not good.
So denial. All you have is denial. You don't like it, therefore it's
denial.
Fake.
What I'm saying is that the image you've posted me, I'm unable to ascertain anything here because we're above the clouds. It's a very poor image. It's
a high quality image.
Not sunny. It must have been a cloudy day. So it's not your fault.
There's no clouds there,
to take the picture. Okay.
Jin, there's no clouds visible.
I'm not able to discern any curvature here.
There's no clouds.
You wouldn't discern curvature on clouds. You would have to be looking at the
land
mass. The actual surface of the Earth is what you look at to determine curvature.
There's no clouds, Jin.
Like I've said, I will finish.
Jin, why are you just lying? There's no clouds.
When you actually fly across the Earth's surface,
it
rises to your eyeball.
What kind of desperation is this, Jin? There's no clouds there. There are no clouds in that picture.
You said you're above the clouds, you said.
No, I sent you a second one. There are no clouds in the second picture.
Sorry. I'm not looking at the second image. My bad. Sorry, one sec.
You were talking too much to listen to me, Jin.
No, I didn't realize
You're very rude.
Sent a second image. I heard you said you were going to send it, but because I'm in a different page, that's why I didn't see it. So I do apologize for that. Let's have a look at the second image you posted. Okay, this one is a bit hazy, this one now. This is a hazy image, but hang on a sec. Let me click on it. A little bit better. A little bit better than the other one. Okay, and what are we seeing here?
So the square, which is either yellow or green, that's showing eye level.
Right.
And then the white crosshair is showing is where he's pointing the camera, and that's dipped down about 3.3 degrees.
Who's he in this case? Not you then.
This one is not from me. No, this is from.
Right. Well, I'm noticing a very leveled
D.
horizon.
Wolfman 45.
In this shot, ladies and gentlemen, I am noticing a very leveled horizon in this shot that you've you've pointed at. There's no curvature here at all.
So you're changing the topic from the dip of the horizon to the amount of left to right curve.
I am saying to you that we're talking about
You're
curvature.
running away from your own claim.
I could care less about the dip in the horizon.
Run away from your own claim.
See the curvature.
You must.
I don't want to talk about
you must run from your own claim.
A dip, ladies
because
and
you
gentlemen,
got destroyed.
is minuscule.
You got absolutely smashed. You claim the horizon does not rise to eye level, or it does, and it does not.
Over a given distance.
I embarrassed you, and you're running away from your own claim.
I'm not running away.
Absolutely,
Mike,
you are.
I'm right
you
here
completely
in your face,
got
Mike,
smashed.
Telling you, I am looking
you
at a
made
very
the claim.
Horizon here.
You made the very specific claim that the horizon rises to eye level.
I am not
and you changed the topic from the horizon rising to eye level because you got destroyed.
I am looking at it I am not seeing any curvature here at all.
And
in fact,
how
from
much
left to right, if you let me finish,
how much
from
left to right curve should
Mike,
you see
Mike,
at 11,000
Mike,
meters?
From left to right, I am not able to see a single
Okay.
curvature there. That's
And
dead level. Now,
how much curve should you
my
see at
position
11,000 meters?
to the horizon, what's the
Jin,
distance? What's
Jin,
the distance, please?
Jin.
Can you tell me the distance?
No, we're talking about the left to right curve now. You changed the topic to the left to
No,
right curve,
we're talking
and
because
we will
curvature is
talk
not
about
just
the left to right curve.
Mike,
Now,
when
Jin,
you're on a board, Mike,
Jin,
when you
at
are on a
11,000
board,
meters,
Mike,
how much
Mike,
left to right
when
curve do you expect?
Hello, Mike. Are you listening? When you're on a ball, Mike, the curvature is 360 degrees, Mike. It's not just left to right, Mike.
But
It's
you may not have noticed
360
it.
degrees
That camera did
curvature.
not take a 360-degree photograph.
What I'm trying to say
are
to
you
you
aware
is
of
that
that?
when I look here,
This has about a 90-degree angle
of
of view.
Picture, it is exactly showing me a leveled horizon, left to right. Now, if we go from my position to the horizon, front to back now,
now, Jin,
what's the distance? You're at 1,000 feet. What's the distance?
What?
We need to know the distance before we know how much curvature.
The front to back. You want from the observer to the edge of the horizon distance?
Horizon, what's the distance?
I can get you that for you.
Well, because you're going to need that. Then you'd know how much curvature there should be.
How's that?
And
what's that going to tell
anyway.
us? Let's say it's X miles. What's that going to tell us then?
Well, it's going to tell us that within X miles there should be X amount of curvature, and I'm not seeing a single degree.
And how are you going to measure that with your eye in a photograph?
No, the distance is enough. You got the distance, and then the curvature formula.
Okay,
that's what you would do.
And how are you going to measure that in this picture? How are you going to measure that?
Exactly.
I'm asking you how you're going to measure that.
You have to use. In this case, you would have to use your senses here.
And so you want to ignore measurements, because you don't, screw the scientific method,
on, Mike,
go with just your senses, your feelings.
You're not letting me talk, Mike. Mike, I'm trying to answer you. Mike, now, in this position where we are now, it's not required increments at this point. You can clearly see that the horizon is level. And you can clearly see that there's no horizon, no curvature from the observation position where the camera and to the horizon. No curvature there at all. That is dead level all the way.
Okay, and so I go back to this question again, Jin. At 11,000 meters, how much left to right curve should we see?
Well, 11,000 meters, 13,000 meters, 12,000 meters. Again, you still need the distance that you're looking across. And if you don't have that distance, you can't begin to measure how much curvature you should have.
You don't know how much curve you should see.
Like I said, when you're on a ball, Mike,
therefore, your opinion of how much left to right curve we see is useless.
You're not listening now. When you're on a ball, let me get that ball quickly. When
Jin,
you're on a ball, Mike,
you're not listening
you're
because you constantly interrupt me. You never let me talk.
Ball,
you go and go and go and go and go and go and go, and you never let me talk,
When
Jin.
you're on a ball, Mike, the plane tends to follow the surface of the
Jin,
earth.
You ask me a question, and then when I start answering the question, you interrupt me again. That's incredibly rude, Jin. Are you an infant that you can't stop talking for a minute to let me answer?
It's not that I'm an infant.
Come on, Jin. No, it is. It absolutely is, because you can't even address your incredible rudeness, Jin.
It requires elementary school to
understand. I'm trying to answer your question, and you interrupt me instantly. It's an instant interruption.
Or a bachelor's. You don't need this to understand that the earth is not a globe and it's going.
Why won't you at least let me answer the question, Jin? Why won't you at least let me answer the question, Jin?
Let's talk about long distance observation.
Jin, why won't you at least let me address your question? You asked me specifically about the left to right curve, and I'm telling you.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I
did.
Not, Mike. Mike, that's what you assumed. Mike, you assumed that. I've told you already it's 360 degrees. You assumed that,
This
Mike,
photograph is not a 360-degree photograph.
Mike, when you're looking at curvature, this is your conundrum, your Achilles heel. It's a ball, we can't see curvature. And when you're talking about a ball,
looking at the dip of the horizon right now.
360 degrees, Mike. 360 degrees curvature. 360 degrees from any position, you will see curvature, Mike, if it's a ball. But we're not.
But how do you quantify that? How did you measure that?
We use the Pythagorean theorem, which is the standard 8 inches per
Okay,
mile
so in this photograph, how would you do that?
Again, we can't do that in this picture because we don't know how far the horizon is from our position.
I can tell
I've
you
said
that
three times now.
I'll give it to you.
3 times now, Mike.
All right, you ready? I have the answer for you.
Unless I know.
I have the answer. Stop talking. 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 You asked me the question. I have the answer. Don't talk. Because I'm answering the question. The distance to the horizon is 374 kilometers. Now, how does this...
374 kilometers?
Yeah.
How did you work that out?
Keith Milner gave it to me.
Keith Milner. How did he work it out? We need to know.
He did not cite his source.
There you go. So now we're making up numbers. Now we're making up numbers now, are we?
Tell you what. You
didn't have it before, now you've got it.
Just for you, I will pull it up. I have personally done the math myself.
Oh, so you've perfectly done the maths on this image that you never took.
No,
and you've worked that out, yeah, to scale. You can do that, can you?
Yes, I can pull that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't trust your maths. It's as simple as that.
So you've pre-dismissed it without even having looked at it. Well,
you know why? Because
then
I
you
don't
tell me.
See how you
then
would
tell
know
you
what you're looking at.
You tell me.
You'd have to have a landmark.
Jin,
you'd have to have a landmark.
Jin, just
landmark.
tell me the math. Since you know the math better than me, go ahead.
That you could even put a GPS to, so you can get a reference.
Jin, you tell me the math so that I don't get it wrong. What's the math? How do I do it here? Since you don't trust the math, you've already hand-wave dismissed my math. You tell me the math for 11,074 meters.
Pythagorean theorem.
Go ahead.
But in this case,
we
would need. Listen.
Go ahead.
We would need a landmark reference so that you use that as a distance marker. We don't have that. So it's like asking somebody how long's a piece of string. Okay, so I'm sorry, Mike.
All right.
You're failing miserably at the moment.
All right. So, Jin.
Miserably to actually prove anything.
Right here,
and you're
Jin.
giving me perfectly leveled horizon left to right. There's no curvature in this image, Mike.
Jin.
Okay,
Jin.
and this
is going to hurt.
Should be curving now, but there isn't a single degree left to right.
Here is.
And that's your image. Your image.
All right. I sent you a link. This is the online GDB. It's an online Python debugger. I wrote this program in Python right here. The height of the observer, 11,074. Now, if you click on that, it'll bring up a web page.
Yeah, I'm clicking on it now.
So I have the specific math right here. I'll run it. So the distance.
Yeah, maths doesn't always prove reality, mate. You can make maths.
No, you're the one asking for it, so I'm providing it. You asked for math.
Yes,
I'm providing it.
But I'm saying to you that maths doesn't always prove reality because I can give you.
All right.
Listen clearly.
Okay, run away from your own demand. You demanded the distance to the horizon, and I'm giving it to you. Now you're running away from it. Clearly, you're scared that I actually did the math.
Dimensions of a box, okay, and give you the color. But if you don't have the box actually physically in your hand, it's just a bunch of numbers.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
So the distance to the horizon with some refraction is 406 kilometers.
What are we looking at here? What am I looking at here, first of all?
That is a program I wrote in Python to calculate the distance to the horizon and the dip of the horizon.
It's your program that you wrote to calculate the distance to the horizon.
And so if you think the math is wrong, you definitely can just point out where it's wrong.
Again, carry on.
Okay. So the distance to the horizon with refraction is 406 kilometers. So how in that photograph?
From where? Where are you at this point?
From the observer in the airplane.
So the observer, and where is the observer? Ground level?
In the airplane.
So it's in the aeroplane, and the distance to the horizon is how much?
406 kilometers.
406 kilometers. Okay. So if you've got 406 kilometers, hang on a second, that's 43 miles.
252.4 miles.
How much?
252.4 miles.
Well, if it's 100 kilometers, it's 60 miles per kilo. 100 kilometers is 60 miles. And you said how many? 406. So that's 240 miles, isn't it? 240 plus 243 miles roughly.
252.4.
Okay, so we take the 252 point whatever. We'll take that and run. Yeah, right. So within that distance, there should be at least 5 miles minimum there, curvature. That's not there. The only thing
how did you measure that?
Is,
how
you've
much?
got no
how much
distance
curve?
markers.
How did you measure that?
With this image, which is very poor, like I said, very hazy as well, you can't really see the ocean. Can't see anything from here. So it's difficult to discern at this point with the image you have posted.
All right, so you obviously you ran away from that. All right, now would you like to see?
I'm not running away from
maybe,
that at all. I'm right here, here in your face, mate. Not running
How
away
would you
at
like
all.
to see some left or right curvature? I suppose you want to see that.
That would, again, I mean, if you're going to show me left to right curvature, you're going to be showing me it's going to be either the lens is distorted, something like that. But go ahead, let's have a look.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should be sure. To see
left, right curvature. Let's have a look.
What if it was a lens that did not have barrel distortion?
Exactly. You see, whenever I've taken a picture from an aeroplane, from the ocean, in my 60 years that I've been alive, I've never captured the curvature from the Earth. From an aeroplane, from the ocean, from Mount Fuji, Mount Scuba, Mount Ohira, many mountains, even in Britain. I've never, abroad, anywhere on this Earth that I've been, I've never ever captured
Stop
the
talking
curvature.
and listen. Stop talking and listen.
I'm listening.
I sent you a lens analysis by thedigitalpicture.com. They analyze lenses.
Help you curvature. Can you please show me the curvature of the Earth that you've taken?
Yep.
That's what I want.
We're going one step at a time here, Jin. One step at a time.
The curvature to be seen. You should have. You know what?
We're first establishing. We're first.
Here's the picture of the
stop
curvature,
talking. Jin, stop talking. We're first establishing that the lens does not have barrel distortion. Are you looking at the link that I sent you?
I'm now looking at the link that you sent me.
Okay, you see that checkerboard pattern?
Words do not always reality make, but here we go.
Do you see that checkerboard pattern?
Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
So this is the lens distortion that the lens was measured at thedigitalpicture.com. These people measure lenses, professional lenses. So this particular lens, you can see the checkerboard pattern. Do you agree or disagree that this lens does not introduce barrel distortion?
I can't agree with that unless I had the camera in my hand and actually fired the shot myself, actually.
Okay, so you'll just deny everything. Okay, tell you what.
It's not deny. It's my integral position.
Screw you.
Okay.
Your turn. Present evidence. You have nothing.
And we
Run away.
Measured it properly in my hand. Then I would have to agree. I can't.
All you have is denial. Got it. All right.
It's not
go
denial.
Ahead.
It's
Present your evidence for flat Earth. Go ahead. Show your measurements. Go ahead. Show your measurements.
I did. What measurements are you talking about?
The measurements that you made of the flat Earth.
I've said to you that when you travel from the UK to New Zealand, 19 hours of flight, you agree that it's 180 degrees.
Measurements.
Almost
show the
180
measurements.
degrees. And that would
Jin, show
be
the measurements.
Impossible on any spherical ball, whether it's the Earth or
show
any
the measurements,
ball you
Jin.
get to bring. Beach ball, tennis ball,
no measurements? You got no measurements?
Beach
of course
ball,
you don't. Flat Earthers never have measurements. Flat Earthers hate measurements. Measurements hurt you.
You will experience it without a doubt.
Do you know DMOC? All right. You get what DMOC gets. All right. I'm going to roll back here a little bit. All right. Doop, doop, doop. All right. You get to see them unlike DMOC. So we've got, let me see here. Rocket scientist for 10 Canadians says, Jin, you have two parts of a brain, left and right. In the left side, there's nothing right. In the right side, there's nothing left. So it is interesting that Jin demanded to see a picture of the left to right curve. And then before I even showed him anything, he pre-denied it. So what a dishonest person he is. All right, we've got Pronon 1990 says, zzz. I love that. All right. Jin, I've moved on. You're too dishonest. Jin. Stringers1 says, cool story, bro. But you said you were going to talk about the heliocentric model. Why are you evading that?
I'm not evading that. The globe is the heliocentric model. The lack of curvature.
All right. Monkey Cat Pat says, when I'm driving north in my car, am I driving up?
You tell me, it's your ball, sir.
No, you're not. Not on the ball. But in your misunderstanding of it, yes. All right. Chronic Avenger says he claimed up is always toward the sky. On a globe, What direction is the sky for Australia? Oh, that's a good question. Jin, you said up is always toward the sky. On a globe, what direction is the sky in Australia? All right, well, there we go. Dishonesty again. Andreas Eld for 50 secs says down is toward your feet. Which way are the feet of the passengers on your airplane above your basketball? Jen, he doesn't like that one. Tim Pryor says, seriously, no field of science or any scientists agree with you, so stop talking about the scientific method because they don't agree with your version of it either. Now, his Jin's scientific method is just whatever I don't like is wrong. That's his scientific method. It's not science, it's lions. That might be a better name for it, lions. He does talk of integrity, but hates integrity, actually. He holds flat earthers to no standard and everybody else to an impossible standard. Classic science denialism, as you'll learn in this book right here. Science denialism, they hold themselves to no standard and everybody else to a true impossible standard. So, all right, Stringer News 1 says, I thought this was a debate, not a filibuster. Well, you kind of knew that coming in that it was going to be Jin filibustering, because that's what Jin does. Rocket Scientist for 5 Canadian says, Jin, you are a classic inverse example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouth and the size of the brain. Totally missed that because he won't stop talking. Indie Tiger Sci-Fi Review says, I navigated ships in the Navy. Ships in the ocean follow pre-calculated curved paths to reach their destination. Jin, why do you think that is? There's nothing in the way. Why the curved path? He's just going to deny. So he's just going to deny. He was not involved in the navigation of it, of course, so he's just going to lie about things. PhD Tony says, does your guest understand that when he believes something is true, but measurements show that it isn't true, he needs to reassess his beliefs? He does not. He certainly does not. Because the flat earther method is to start with the conclusion, look for things that support it, ignore everything that doesn't, and then declare that their pre-selected conclusion was undeniably proven. That's the scientific method according to flat earthers. So it like when DMOC is here and he's disconnected and you don't see him, it's funny, but he's just going and going and going, right? Like you can see how ridiculous he is that he won't even engage in a conversation with me. He only wants to filibuster. String News 1 says, be like the wolf, Jin. Be like the wolf. Mouth is closed, ears are open. Mouth closed, ears open. All right. You don't want to be like the wolf, Jin. David Brock for $10 says, it's possible to get some place where you can see the curvature. It is possible to measure effects of curvature from a place where you cannot see the curve. No. You can't use any of that unless you did it yourself. Much Gum, you can't use anything unless you did it yourself. Much Gum for $2 says, Jin certainly doesn't lack in blind confidence. Absolutely. Yeah, Jin's standard of evidence is he's the only one allowed to do it. That's it. That's your standard of evidence, Jin. I'm just applying your standard of evidence. Caucasian Sensation says, no curvature during flight. Which flight? Your flight over the cuckoo's nest? You never measured anything, Jin. We know that we never did. Luke Filewalker says, for €2, I think I need a gin and tonic now. Get that? I get it. Man, I cannot drink gin. Oof. We got Rocket Scientist says, Jin, I don't hate you, but I would unplug your life support to charge my phone. Good luck with that. It's a tough crowd there, Jin. Bob Frog 99 says for never a sense of scale of the size of the earth. No, they're like, I should see curve. How much curve? I don't know, but I should. That's it. It's no sense at all. No intelligence to it. Chronic Avenger says CW Lemonaire, a former F-16 pilot, says he saw curvature. Oh, so Jin, hey Jin, forget it. He can't hear. He can't hear. He's just filibuster. Pat in the chat says, I genuinely feel sorry for flirfs. As annoying as they are, conspiracy is all they have. Without it, they have an existential identity crisis. Those who come back to the globe are lucky and rare. Indeed. Good job, Ranty. Good job, Seek Truth, Speak Truth. Good job, Sean G. Jose. Good job, Jose. Luke Filewalker says for €5, or maybe you're looking slightly down without noticing, Jin. That could be. That could be. I would answer you, but you'd instantly interrupt. So Green Bull says for $5 Canadian, Jin, I really don't like being rude, but for the love of God, shut the F up.
Is that what he's saying?
That's what Cretan Bull said.
Why don't you leave the live stream if you don't like my voice, my friend? That's what you got to do.
No, you just, I mean, they're just identifying that you're being exceptionally rude. Much Gum says for $10, Flat Earth Debate Tactic 3, you can't falsify what I'm saying if I just keep talking. Jin, remember to lift your legs while moving the goalpost.
I don't move the goalpost at all.
Oh, you moved them so fast. You're like, show me a picture of curve. I won't believe it. That's what you did.
Mike, how did they
No. Don't care. I don't care, Jin. I don't care what you say anymore. You pre-rejected evidence because you didn't take the picture yourself. So, PhD Tony says, is it your guest's opinion that only things he has seen or can see exist, and that anything he has not seen does not exist? It probably, yeah. Is there anything that, is it your opinion that only things that you've seen can exist and things you have not seen don't?
To a certain degree, I'll have to say yes to that to a certain
Oh, so then you hand wave dismiss everybody's opinion. So all the people that said that the earth was flat, you have to dismiss because you didn't see it yourself. Got it. Okay. Eddie Reese says for $5, the only thing flirfs we do well is talk non-stop. Too bad they never actually said anything. No, I don't care. Bill McGuire says, this is DMOC with less cursing. Absolutely. This is completely DMOC with less cursing. Thank you for being DMOC with less cursing and letting us see it happen at the same time. Stringer News 1 says, Jin's narrative is like a box of chocolate. By the 100th pass, it might still look like chocolate, but the taste just isn't the same.
That's what I mean by that. That's the highest standard possible.
Jin, would you accept, Jin, stop for a second. Jin, would you accept testimony from a professional on how GPS works?
I've seen GPS working, right? But it's not to do with satellites, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll take that as a no. Tim Pryor says, MC Toon, you really need to start saying this. Tell them to point down, then point south. Point up, then point north. It's not the same direction. Well, then you know. But see, Jin is confused. Jin doesn't understand how the globe works. He was going to teach me about the heliocentric model, but doesn't actually know how the globe works. The Rabbit says for $2, false advertising. You said debate, and I got dumb.
Oh, never mind.
The
Prove the earth that is curving if you can.
I can, but you pre-rejected it. So Tim Pryor says, me flat earther, me watch YouTube videos, me now smarter than everybody on planet. Does he realize that this is literally what he has to believe? It is. It is, absolutely.
It's knowledge that we can
With no measurements. The irony. Tiny Captain for €2 says, Jin does not understand direction.
So
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Flat earthers only have belief. I love it. Sean, yeah, Hawkins, yes. You that definitely have some fun with that. Glover Mom says for $2 Jin, you should ask YouTube University for a tuition refund.
No, I don't need that. I don't pay any money. I don't pay any money as it is anyway, so it wouldn't.
All right, Kevin H says Jin, in a flight from England to New Zealand over 18 hours is about 1 degree of dip every 6 minutes. Do you really expect to feel that?
Ladies and gentlemen, that's another misconception there.
Yes or no?
In every 2 minutes or every 100 miles, the plane would have to dip its nose for 2 minutes.
It's not actually how flight dynamics work, Jin. Maybe you want to study that a little.
I know I'm right there. I'm sorry. So basically, the point I'm saying is that we have an instrument.
So what does
used to measure the actual attitude of the aircraft, whether it's level or not.
You were in the cockpit, huh? Interesting.
Except for when we came to land.
So all right.
When we took off, of course.
Tesla Bitten Radio says love the t-shirt, Jin. Oh, Jin's shirt, yes. Maybe do real research and not watch YouTube videos. I've got this shirt here. This shirt is in my Teespring store. It says it's got the Flat Earth Society on Twitter saying we've got members all over the globe, and then me responding saying, have you had a little too much Toonshine? AT2 production. Hey, Jin, maybe you want to answer. Jin. Jin. Jeez, it's like your ADHD is off the scale. Jin, could you stop for a second? Jin, could you stop for a second? Jin, shh. Jin, just stop for a second. What does it mean in an airplane to trim an aircraft for level flight? What does that mean?
To trim an aircraft for level flight. Well, that obviously have to do with the wings and the flaps. That's all, and the nose of the aircraft as it's flying through the atmosphere. I'm not a pilot, but I know the basic principle of flight. I can actually fly a plane.
What are the four forces? What are the four forces?
Confidence enough to fly a plane. Don't you worry. But like I said, we have an instrument we used to back up my senses. My senses.
What are the four forces of flight?
If I may finish, please, Mike. My senses already kicked in already, but we used the instrument to back that up, and it confirmed that we were flying horizontally.
All right.
So
what are the
regardless of your trimming, go trim your hair, mate. You need a haircut.
Trim. I do need a haircut.
Trimming.
What? All right. So what are the four forces of flight?
What are the four forces of flight? Forces. That's an interesting question. Four forces of flight. I researched that not so long ago, but I've forgotten now. Four forces of flight. Forces. Well, I'm not going to... Yeah,
thrust?
There is the weight
thrust?
of the aircraft wanting to drop down.
Yeah.
Right? That would be one. I'm not
gravity,
going to use the word
gravity,
because it's not been proven. Okay,
gravity.
So I refuse to use that word. But it's the weight and the mass of the aircraft wanting to drop down on the ground.
Yeah.
That'd
So
be
gravity.
Then there's the
thrust.
engine that's forcing the aeroplane forward in its propulsion.
Thrust.
And then the other two I can't think of hand now.
You've got lift.
Yeah, lift.
And you've got wind resistance.
Yeah, wind resistance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they're all four in equilibrium, that's when you've trimmed for level flight. Now, once you've gone on a globe, once you've gone say 100 meters, the downward vector has changed. You know that? The downward vector changes constantly.
What we got here is a little bit of a double speak. Look, once you're in an aircraft and it takes off and it gets to its allotted altitude, which is usually 35,000 feet, sometimes it's 40,000 feet, and there are other times when it's 51, but usually 35, 37. They go into automatic pilot, and then the plane is horizontal flight.
So you say.
What you're going to say
but it
now
seems that you don't
really
understand,
has no
actually.
bearing on the fact that there's no curvature and this plane is not following
All right,
the surface of the Earth. If it were a curved ball, it's not doing that. It's following a horizontal
drop this down. All right, we got the member chats going, and we've got Harold says everyone from Gem's server is like, yup, same old crap. Yeah, we've got Tim Tully says apparently using BS dressing on that word salad. Skidmark McGee, who's been a member for 4 months, says his plan is to talk so much that Toon can't. Yeah, and clearly I have to have a solution to that, which I've provided. Kirk B says, while he's proving that comment correct, Kirk B says words are not proof. Jin, trust me. Absolutely. Pat in the chat says, member for 7 months, says The Onion, NASA panics as asteroid fires back. Yes, the dart thing hit that asteroid. That's pretty cool. Eon Dust says, this is your brain. This is your brain on Flurf. I think that's what he means. Jolene's been a member for 24 months, says, I've never seen someone so old act such a child. True. I mean, maybe D-Mock is older, but I think he's probably younger, I'm guessing. The Truth Nerd says, who's been a member for 25 months, says, I didn't know you'd be debating the Energizer Bunny today. All right, that's member chats. Yes, of course we are. Yes.
How do you know this? And what method did you use to know this?
Well, there's many methods, but you did not do them yourself, so you will reject them.
How do you know what method did you use, Mike?
You won't accept them because your standard of evidence is that only things you do is what you accept. No, sorry. Jin, you've already provided Jin, you've already provided your standard of evidence. So I will not. It is only you doing the experiment yourself that you allow. I get it. It's your denialism. It's how you have to deny things, right? Because you have a belief in flat Earth, and so you will deny everything that you don't like.
How you know the Earth is spinning, Mike?
So let me. I'll turn you down a little bit here.
Is it spinning where you are?
All right. Yeah, this is a great book, people. If you don't have it, How to Talk to a Science Denier from Lee McIntyre. So let's see. No, of course, I'm completely ignoring you, Jin, because you will pre-deny everything. So all right, let me see here. All right. Well, that would require trigonometry, which I don't think you're going to be able to handle. Can you do trigonometry? Can you do trig? Did you do trig in school?
We did trigonometry in school. Now,
Excellent.
And tell me how fast and how you know the Earth is actually spinning right now.
All right, let's see here. Conspiracy theorists are famous for their double standards of evidence. They insist on an absurd standard of proof when it concerns something they do not want to believe, while accepting with scant to non-existent evidence whatever they do want to believe. We've already seen the weakness of this type of selective reasoning with cherry-picking evidence, and to this predilection for the kind of paranoid suspicion that underlies most conspiracy-minded thinking, and we face an almost impenetrable wall of doubt. When a conspiracy theorist indulges their suspicions about the alleged dangers of vaccines, chemtrails, fluorides, whatever, but then take any contrary or debunking information as their proof of a cover-up. They lock themselves in a hermetically sealed box of doubt that no amount of facts could ever get them out of. For all of their protests of skepticism, most conspiracy theorists are in fact quite gullible. There you go. No, you have 100% shown that is completely correct, top to bottom. No, you've definitely out-talked me already.
Well, I'm asking, can I? Thank you. Right.
Go right ahead. I'll give you a little bit of time.
I reserve the right to choose, cherry pick, I'll call it, the evidence that I have and the knowledge that I have to bring to bear to disprove this globe that doesn't spin. That is my right. And nobody, no scientist, no psychiatrist, no psychologist is going to take away my right to choose. We all select, we all cherry pick, actually, in our lives.
All conspiracy theorists do, absolutely.
Now, regarding the shape of the Earth, I have the right to cherry pick from my assortments of evidences the best evidence to present my case. That's my right. I'm the biggest cherry picker you'll ever meet.
Actually,
so cherry picking is not illegal.
You
it's not a crime.
Completely supported that.
Thank you very much. And I'm in no doubt that the Earth isn't a globe, because there isn't a single shred of evidence for it. And you are failing to address the spinning I've asked you about. Spinning, please. Spin.
But I can't meet your ridiculous, absurd standard of evidence. So why would I try?
How do you know the Earth is spinning? You can't.
I've examined the research on the topic.
How have you confirmed that the Earth is spinning? Ladies and gentlemen,
since you didn't do it, then I could not possibly provide it because you will pre-reject it. That's what you do, Jin.
You are scared now. I've asked you a straightforward question.
It's on my website. Everybody here knows.
To yourself that the Earth is spinning. What method did you use? Please explain to the listeners.
No.
Fifth, sixth time in asking.
No, they've all seen it already. I link it constantly everywhere I go. Facebook, Discord,
can you now tell me then, please? I'm all ears.
Jin, I'm telling you, it will not meet your absurd standard of evidence. Why would I even try?
Let me hear.
You will pre-dismiss it. You will pre-dismiss it, Jin.
I can't hear you explaining to me how you know the
Earth
is spinning.
Because you will pre-dismiss it. You are extremely dishonest, and you won't accept no matter what I give
explain? You. Or are you gonna? Are you the one running now?
Tell you what, I will explain it. But what I'm going to do, Jin, is I'm going to take this out of my ear, and I'm not going to listen to you talk while I explain it, because I know the second I start talking, you will be a child and you will interrupt me, right? Because that's your method.
You're looking for the MO.
There you go. All right, you ready? Here we go. And I'm gonna turn it down so people can hear you. People can hear you try to interrupt me. They know that you're talking right here. I cannot hear you. All right. Now I know that we are spinning because there are two poles, two celestial poles. In fact, my phone. Let's see here. I have on my phone. I don't want to show all of my notifications. They still show.
He's already made a couple of errors, ladies and gents.
I have a photograph of the South Celestial Pole, the star trails around the South Celestial Pole. So we've got the South Celestial Pole and the North Celestial Pole. They both spin, and one spins clockwise, one spins counterclockwise. If the Earth were flat with a dome over it, we would see one of them spin clockwise or counterclockwise, and the other one would looking the opposite direction. We would see things moving laterally, not around a single central pole. So that's number one piece of evidence that the Earth is rotating. Now that alone, you could conclude potentially that the stars rotate and the spherical Earth, because that doesn't work for flat Earth, that the spherical Earth is in fact stationary. You could potentially at that point, but I would then go to the Sagnac effect, and the Michelson-Gale experiment is the next one that I would look at. That one measured the rotation of the Earth specifically at their latitude, which I believe was 41 degrees north latitude, and it matched the exact prediction of the Earth's rotation. And the Sagnac effect, rotation is an absolute thing, not a relative thing. So you can measure rotation absolutely. There are other. Then I would point to the 1905 measurement of the rotation of the Earth using a very large a gyroscope. I can bring people. It's on my website mc2.net/spin. So they built a very large gyroscope designed to measure the rotation of the Earth. I would also then look at it was just a couple years ago published in Nature, they used a 15 Tesla magnetic field to suspend a plastic sphere in the air and got it rotating, and then measured the change in rotation, and it matched the rotation of the Earth that was confirmed in the other measurements. So we have 3 different methods of measuring the rotation of the Earth that is not that's beyond the dual celestial poles. So there you go. Now you may respond.
Right. Didn't Michelson and Morley prove that the Earth was stationary with their experiment? And Sagnac, they proved that the Earth was stationary with the ether. It was ether and the sky moving, not the Earth.
Well,
so
I can bring that up. I can bring that up, and we can look at that right now. I have that ready to go. Just
bring it up?
What page?
Yeah, I'm on an iPhone.
Yeah. What page of and paragraph?
Well, I don't have the book, so I only have a video.
All right. Well,
I have a video of the 5 experiments that were conducted.
All right.
The 5 famous experiments that were conducted that proves a stationary Earth. And in there, it was Sagnac and Michelson-Morley.
I have the Michelson-Morley experiment right here.
Michelson-Morley, Sagnac, and they all proved that the Earth is stationary.
Well, you didn't read them, did you?
I didn't have to read them because I was listening
clearly
to the narrator.
you didn't read them because if you read them, you would see
them because it was a video.
Yeah. You would have seen if you read them. I have it on screen right now. You would have seen that they in fact did not say anything in there about saying that the Earth didn't rotate. So if you don't have that, then
they proved that the Earth was stationary because the ether was moving, apparently.
No,
and the
not
other
at all.
one was light.
Not at all what they said. So you completely ignored my evidence.
For water with a telescope, proving that the Earth is not moving, but the sky was moving because the light was taking longer to hit the lens.
So you refuse to talk about my evidence and instead go to other stuff. Got it? Because you can't address my evidence.
It's not because I'm showing that the evidence you presented has been debunked.
But it hasn't.
Isn't moving. And
you can't even tell me where.
How fast are we supposed to be moving, by the way?
Is there a reason why you can't stay on topic?
I'm on topic.
Is your ADHD just through the roof? All right. Well, screw you, man. Screw you again. I'm going to go back to Super Chats because, I mean, he specifically asked me. He specifically asked me how I know that the Earth is rotating. And I gave him the 2 celestial poles and 3 different methods to do it. 3, and he completely ignored all of those methods because he has no answer. He knows that those answers don't work. Then he brought up the Michelson-Morley experiment, or Michelson-Morley, claiming things that weren't in it. But I'll explain for the audience the 2 things, the Michelson-Morley and the Michelson-Gale experiments, the 2 of them. Michelson-Morley built the interferometer. I have the picture of it here in their they built this. They have 2 arms on it. There it is. There's a picture of the table that they use, that they put it on, and then there it is. There's the specific Jin. I know you can't see this, but you wouldn't care anyway. So they sent a beam. They split the beam into 2 separate arms. They crisscross, as you can see here. You can think of it as kind of just going in an L. It's essentially what they did. They hypothesized that since the Earth is rotating around the sun, and they hypothesized ether existing, that one of the arms, one of the directions would experience slower light than the other one. They did not find that. And I have a picture here of their actual finding here. You've got these two sine wave looking things are the prediction, and those bottom ones are the actual measurements that they did. So it was falsified. The hypothesis of the aether was falsified. That's what they concluded in there. And if you read there it is. I think we can look at that in Here, it appears from all that proceeds reasonably certain that if there be any relative motion between the Earth and the luminiferous ether, it must be small, quite small enough entirely to refute Fresnel's explanation of aberration. Stokes has given a theory of aberration which assumes that the ether at Earth's surface to be at rest with regard to the latter, and only requires in addition that the relative velocity have a potential. But Lorentz shows that these conditions are incompatible. Lorentz then proposes a modification which combines some ideas of Stokes and Fresnel and assumes the existence of a potential together with Fresnel's coefficient. If now it were anyway, they concluded that they could not measure any ether. Now, if you take that in isolation, and you say, well, if we have no other input at all, we don't have the rotation of the two celestial poles, if we don't have, the parallax of stars that have been measured, all these, if you ignore all those other things, then you could say maybe that the ether does exist, and one of two possibilities, actually one possibility, it is stationary in reference to the surface of the Earth, and that is actually right here. Stokes has given a theory of aberration which assumes the ether at the Earth's surface to be at rest with regard to the latter. So whether the Earth is moving or not moving, that is one of the conclusions you could draw. Of course, it says then that Lorentz says that doesn't work. Other work, you need to look up the stuff on Lorentz and how he addresses that. You could, that's the most you could conclude. But then you come to Michelson-Gale. And in Michelson-Gale, I will bring that up. That's also on my same page there. Michelson-Gale right there, 1925. So Michelson was involved, or Michelson, April 1925. The effect of the Earth's rotation on the velocity of light. Now, you won't find in here anything talking about they proved that the Earth wasn't moving. But what happened is they built a rectangle, a large rectangle, multiple kilometers. Here's a picture of it. Right, there's the rectangle that they built. And they sent light through it. So it's opposite, not opposite, it's different, right? Michelson, the first one had this L shape, essentially, or it's a crisscross. This one is a big square. So if and what they did is they did a similar thing. They split the light, they sent it different directions around, and they came back and recombined it and measured the diffraction. Now, they measured that one of those paths took longer than the other, and that was registered as a diffraction pattern. So that confirms the rotation of the device. But if you were to go with the conclusion that the ether does exist and is at rest with relation to the surface of the Earth, well, this one doesn't work with that, because on Michelson-Morley, you've got it's at rest with this surface of the Earth, and Michelson-Gale, you've got this swirl. Which one is it? It can't be both at rest and a swirl at the same time. Michelson-Morley, Michelson-Gale together don't work with the ether at all, and certainly don't work with the rotation of the Earth, or the Earth not moving, because Michelson-Gale measured the rotation of the Earth. And let's see, I think they're at 41 degrees north latitude. I'm going to see if I can confirm that. All right, got to the bottom there. Nice. Is this searchable? It is. Right. All right. Well, I can absolutely, I can do that. Yeah, well, we'll get to that. So, all right, we've got, there it is. Ooh, there it is. 41, their latitude is 41 degrees, 46 arc minutes. All right. So at 41 degrees, 46 arc, that's, well, we're moving, the rotation of the Earth is one rotation per day, right? Yes. Yeah, one rotation per day is the angular velocity. At 41 degrees north latitude? Well, let's get to that then. Well, we first need to know the circumference of 41 degrees, 46 minutes. Do you know that? Not off the top of my head for 41 degrees, 46. Sorry, not off the top of my head, for 41 degrees, 46 minutes north latitude. But not, all right, let me say this. Let me say this again. Let me say this again, Jin.
That is what the claim.
I'll say it again, Jin.
Of the globe Earth is.
Not
we
the circumference.
Don't believe that, of course.
Jin.
That's what
Jin. Oh my gosh. What an infant. What an absolute asinine child you are, Jin. I am telling you that at 41 degrees north latitude, that is not the circumference of the Earth. But you're too much of an infant child to listen.
That's the circumference radius of
oh my gosh. How do people put up with you in real life, Jin? You are absolutely insufferable. Why won't you shut up so somebody can talk? What's wrong with you? You have like some sort of a psychological problem that you've been diagnosed with? You should definitely see a professional, Jin, because you won't shut the hell up. You have a real problem, Jin. It's a sickness. It's an actual sickness that you won't shut up, Jin. It's a real problem. Now, I can't be the first one to tell you this, Jin. Certainly, you know that you have a problem where you won't shut the hell up. It's so dumb for a 56-year-old person. Is that how old you are? I don't know. To be such a disgusting person that you won't shut up. What's wrong with you? Why won't you do that? Yeah, all right. It's called narcissism. Correct. Column 47. All right, at 41 degrees, 46 minutes north. All right. So at 0 degrees north, which is at the equator, you get the circumference, right? So you take the cosine of the latitude. So we've got 41 degrees and then 46 minutes. You need to divide that by 60. I know people, you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm doing this. You got 41 and then 0.76. Add them together. So there we've got the latitude is 41.76 degrees. And you take the cosine of that, which is 0.745, and then you multiply that by the radius the circumference at the equator, which is 40,000 kilometers. We multiply that, and we get 29,000 kilometers at that spot. Now I'll convert it to miles an hour because even though he lives in Japan, he seems to prefer miles. I'm more comfortable with miles as well, so I find that a little weird though in Japan and raised in England. But all right, that's 18,538 miles per day rotation. All right, we divide that by 24, giving us 772 miles per hour is the lateral speed at that particular latitude. There you go. Got it.
But then at the equator, it's more at the equator.
Okay, you asked for this particular location, which I gave you. I gave you for this location. Whatever. At this particular location, you wanted it, I gave it to you. 774 miles, 772.
Still fast, isn't it? It's not. That's speed of sound. That's the speed of sound you've got there, roughly.
Sure, and the air is moving with it.
It cannot be considered a slow speed at all. At all.
Yeah.
So try to stand on a platform that's spinning at that rate, even in an hour.
My God, you don't understand anything, Jin. Jin, you're that old. You've gotten to this point in your life, and you can't even understand this simple stuff. The earth, the air is moving with the earth. How can you not understand these simple things? Not only do you have the mannerisms of a child, you have the lack of understanding of a child. Yeah, you don't even understand these simple things. All right, he's just not smart enough. He doesn't have the mental capacity to understand these things. I mean, I've had flat earthers on that, but this guy, wow. All right, we've got Tim Pryor. I mean, you don't disprove the globe by not understanding the globe, which is all that he's done. So Tim Pryor says for $5, I also love how flat earthers keep using our technology because let's face it, there's no technology made by a flat earthers. Absolutely not. No technology made by flat earthers at all. They can't even do trigonometry, basic math, basic triangle solving. Caucasian Sensation says his tuition to YouTube University is a steady pledge of nuh-uh. Clara Zoom says for £5, Jin strutting up to the chessboard, eyeing which pieces to kick over before he craps on it, and declares some kind of induced victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's not the case at all. You can see here clearly that
All right, we've got Chronic Avenger says, pull up CW Lemion Flat Earth on YouTube. 8 minutes in, and here he stated he has seen curvature. Ooh, that's interesting. All right, I'll grab that quick here. All right. Keep making a fool of yourself, Jin. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep talking over me and not understanding basic stuff. You never had any measurements. All right. All right, there we go. We've got CW. I just want to call him Lemonade. All right. So, well, all right. There's a couple of them. He has, hold on a second. 8 minutes in. So he has his own channel. I don't know which one. There's one, is the Earth actually flat? And then the other one, Top Gun 2 Watch Party Update. Oh, that. Well, all right. I'll pull up this one here and see if we can. All right, there it is. I'll pop over here to there. Jin, I'll send this to you and you can ignore it, I'm sure. Because it wasn't you, because you didn't do it yourself. You didn't see it yourself, therefore you'll reject it, because that's your standard. So
my standard is
to reject everything you don't like. Your standard is to reject everything you don't like. Absolutely. Yes. Got it. Got it. We know. We all know. All right. We've got 8 minutes.
because you can't confirm these things.
All right.
You can't confirm
Looking for
these things are actually up there. You need to go up there to confirm it. And when you haven't done then you're just carrying a belief.
is
At the moment.
hold on.
The same with the globe.
I'm looking.
There is no measurable curvature anywhere.
There it is.
No detectable spin. And when we go out,
I already covered how we measure spin, but you didn't like it, so your hand wave dismissed it.
that's the thing you got to remember. You're not able to get away from that point. You see.
I just want to make sure that you understand. I presented evidence. You hand wave dismissed it. You changed the topic because you didn't like it. So.
Presented evidence, but it weren't proof.
Yeah.
And they were very poor
Yeah.
at best.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Of course. You don't like it. You don't like it. Therefore, you hand wave dismiss it. That's all you got. That's all you got. I mean, you completely confirm this. So, all right. I'm looking here. Chronic Avenger.
And in one shot, we're looking at a perfectly leveled horizon in one shot. What we
Let's see.
I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, you shot
38,000 feet.
Okay, that's why I went to the
So.
curvature, straight to the jugular vein. It's the curvature all the way, and then there's the other one is the Achilles.
Ooh,
vein
all right.
spinning.
I think we've got this. All right, Jin. Nobody cares what you say. All right, we've got.
Garrett's not flat. You're an idiot. And then somebody answered him as you're hilarious, fly to 40,000 feet and tell me the Earth is flat. I've done that. You can see curvature of the Earth.
Oh, hold on a second. I'm sure you.
Says, even the people.
All right, hold on.
Willful ignoring what you see.
All right, shh. Jin, quiet for a second.
You have nothing.
Jin, quiet for a second. This is a person that's been there. You've not been there. This is a person that's been there. So just listen. Just listen. Use your ears.
And then somebody answered him as you're hilarious, fly to 40,000 feet and tell me the Earth is flat. I've done that. You can see curvature of the Earth.
You're a liar.
Techno.
There it is. All right. So you hand wave dismissed. Eyewitness.
24 miles up.
Because you didn't like it. You didn't like it. All right. So and that is how desperate and how flat earthers hate evidence. It hurts them so much, right? The person that's been there, this person who's on the screen, right here, this person's been to 40,000 feet, said that he personally saw the curve of the Earth with his own eyes, and Jin says, no. Let's talk about somebody who wasn't at 40,000 feet and didn't see it with their own eyes. So there we go. All right. So thank you for that. That's a good one, Chronic Avenger. We've got It's Big K says another classic session of trying to nail Jello to a wall. I feel bad for anyone who has to work with this person on a daily basis. Yeah. It's so exactly, completely. Tim Pryor says interesting question, but it's just common knowledge. Then claims he knows how to fly an airplane. This is why we laugh. This is why we laugh, Jin. Truth Seeker 101 for $10 says, I was dying in the beginning when you asked him to do the math together. All I heard was, I don't, you even had the pen and paper ready. I was looking forward to seeing some Flurf math. I'll tell you, in all the debates I've done, no Flurf has actually done math. I don't think Flurfs can do math. But, you know what? That reminds me, hold on. Let's update this quick. We got claims without evidence. Expect to see 1 degree of curve. Yes. We got see too far. We got water season. We got fake. we got fake. We have thousands of pictures, not hundreds. We've got, of course, incredulity. We've got 8 inches per mile squared. We've got laser test. Dismissing evidence outright. Now he demanded proof. He talked about fisheye. All right, bad math. Yep. Ooh, we're getting there. Let's see. Quote mining out of context. Cherry picking. Absolutely. Compression. Can you feel it move? Oh, there it is. Oh man, this is a good one. We might get blackout on this one. Okay. All right, I'll update that in a little bit here. So anyway, Truth Seeker 101, yes, he cannot do math. Jin is incapable of doing basic math. So he says that there's a certain amount of curve you should see, but he can't actually present the amount of curve you should see. He doesn't know how to do that. It's not easy, I get it, but you can't say we should see curve, and that's not enough curve without quantifying the amount of curve you should see. So, all right. Jamie Hollenbake says, you absolutely chose to be ignorant. Totally. No, I'm not listening to you. I'm ignoring you. We are laughing at you. Sarcastic Barman for £2 says, can we see Jin's measurement of Earth not moving? I'll turn you up. Can we see your measurement of Earth not moving?
The Earth is stationary.
That's a claim. Show me the scientific method. Show me the scientific method.
Constellations
Go ahead.
are all in the same place.
Go ahead. Show the scientific
stars
method.
And Polaris
show the measurements.
In the same place.
Show the measurements of Earth not moving.
That's one way that we know we're not moving. Not to mention,
show the measurements.
Here in Japan, when we have an earthquake, that's when I know the Earth is indeed moving. When we have earthquakes.
Show your measurements of Earth not moving. Go ahead.
We ain't moving.
So all you have is religious mantra.
If we were moving.
Got it. All right. There we go. Sorry, Sarcastic Barman. There we saw a religious mantra repeat from somebody who has a religious belief that the Earth is not moving. Not somebody that applied the scientific method. Somebody that has a religious belief in it. Tim Pryor says, well, the fact he doesn't know the difference between spin and rotate, miles per hour and RPM, explains a lot. Absolutely. So, all right. PT Tony says, precise measurements of start position show that the Earth wobbles on its axis of rotation. For example, the Chandler wobble. Absolutely. And I'll show that. Hold on. All right. So here on my website, mc2.net/spin, one of the measurements includes the Chandler, let's see. There it is. How to detect the Chandler, an annual wobble of the Earth with a large ring laser gyroscope. The sensitivity and stability of large ring laser gyroscopes has improved so dramatically that we're now able to directly measure the combined effect of the Chandler and the annual wobble of the freely rotating Earth. And there's the link to the publication. And so there it is. Right there.
and then dismantle
There it is.
to see if
And
it's
so
mechanically
his standard of
rather
evidence
than
is
electrical, because
he wasn't
the
there,
Earth is definitely
therefore nuh-uh.
so the manufacturers
So
of this
I
equipment
do
are using a deceptive piece of technology to make you
everything you don't like is
that
fake.
the
I
Earth
get
is
it.
moving
I
when
get
it's
it,
not.
Jin.
That's what they're doing with that equipment.
I have your book. I have your
I would like to
playbook,
have
Jin.
the equipment broken down
I
and have the manufacturers
I have your
explain
playbook, Jin. Just a
exactly
second. Just a
how
second.
they work this equipment, how it actually works, so we can see, and then we take it out into the real
All right,
world,
let's
and then
see.
let's feel the Earth moving at said speed.
You want to
It could be
feel.
moving
You want to
at
feel the
kilograms
Earth moving.
when we move to
Oh,
different
so
areas,
funny.
but we won't know
All right,
the speed.
here it is.
The machine
Here's
will
Jin's
break it down,
playbook.
ladies and gentlemen. The device will say you're moving, but you're not feeling it. That's exactly what's going on. Okay? You have a piece of equipment that can tell you you're moving, but you're not moving indeed. In actual fact, you're not moving at all. That's what's going on there.
Here's how Jin. Here's Jin's standard of evidence.
That is my standard, ladies and gents.
Yep, it is.
Breaking down the machine. Let's have a look inside.
Oh.
That's right.
Right.
I'm glad you laughed, because that's
All right. Pat the chat says Gary Wybenga. This super chat is for you, sweetheart. Diarrhea and fart noises. Miss you.
yeah. Go clean yourself up, because nothing but verbal diarrhea is coming out of your mouth. So get a tissue, clean up, and you'll be happy.
the irony. All right.
Still, put your head in
Greg
the-
Edmonds says, Toon, you're attempting to argue with a sociopathic delusion.
Be better.
It's not possible to reason with someone who calls his doctors liars. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, he thinks he's smarter. He thinks he's smarter than everybody.
So what would
He
I need
thinks
to
he's
know?
smarter than doctors.
Before my own
Eddie Reese says, ask question, ignore answer, change topic, repeat. Yes, that is his debate
That is
tactic.
not what I am doing.
That
I'm
is
asking
100%.
questions satisfaction in,
Tim Pryor says, love how when you guys show the paper are the Michelson-Morley experiment, showing it not prove the Earth is stationary. They still deny it,
you ignore
even though it's the paper they wrote.
evidence in front of your eyesight,
Absolutely.
you ignore it. And then when you're told and shown how an aeroplane
Tim Pryor says for $5, love how when you show the paper of experiment done by people that did the experiment, flat Earth still deny. Yeah, okay. Tim reworded it. Tim, have you been having a little careful? Don't make this into a drinking game. It will hurt. It can. Alcohol poisoning is real. I see a little. I could turn him. Might be a little too hot on his mic there. How's the volume? How's his volume? All right, Harold says Biodual is the best flat earther. Toon should debate him. I would gladly debate Biodual. I think I know who he is. From he's on Discord a lot. He's not?
Not Biodual.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's not. Yeah. The Discord flat earthers, a lot of them like that like run servers. They don't. Well, certainly you do have one thing. You do have loud. Saeed Ahmed says, you, sir, are a man of immense patience. I have no idea how you deal with this. Bravo for not losing your cool. Jin, you lose. I did get a little hot, didn't I? He needed it. He's like, sometimes, you know, I'm a dad. I got kids. Sometimes you gotta get a little bit, you know, kids behave. Kind of turn it up a little bit. M Shedler 49 for $5 is Jim, patron saint of the Gish gallop.
I'm not Gish galloping. I'm on point. It's flat Earth. It's heliocentric.
You 100% Gish gallop. Oh, geez. Chronic Avenger. So the first-hand experience for the military is not credible. There goes his own evidence from the Navy, sub and pilots. So, Jin, I have a question. Yeah, that's all. That's a very religious position. Jin, question. Jin, I have a question. Could you pause for a second, Jin? Could you pause? Jin, could you pause? Jin, could you? Hey, Jin, can you pause? Jin, yo, hey, Jin. Hey, Jin. Jin, could you pause for a second? Jin, could you? Hello, Jin. Could you pause for a second? Hello, Jin. Jin, could you pause for a second? Jin. Hello. Jin, could you pause? Jin. I don't know. Like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? This guy, he's like a little baby. Like he won't. All right. The rabbit says for $5, I want to see evidence of your pencil and paper. If you hold it up, I demand it to be in my hand or nuh-uh. Also, that pencil and paper is CGI. Jin, Jin, I have a question. Jin, I have a question. Jin, hold on, Jin, I have a question. Jin, hold on, Jin. Hello, Jin, I have a question. Jin, hello. Hello, Jin, I have a question. Jin, I have a question. Jin, hello, Jin. Jin, you said measure. You don't have any measurement. Jin. All right. So question. So firsthand experience from military saying that the Earth is a sphere is not credible.
I'm sorry. The guy. If anyone's in the military and they're saying that the Earth is a globe, they need help. They're delusional.
So you pre-reject everything that doesn't. Navy, so yeah, everything you don't like is fake. It's this playbook right here. This is exactly what he does. Oh, how dishonest can you be? I mean, just how sad to live your life like that. Toddbert says for $2 Jin's shirt, dare to research. Shirt 1, Jin 0. Absolutely. Jin 0. All right. Clara Zoom says for £5. Come on, Jin. I have money riding on you rage quitting.
I'm winning this thing. Now, Mike, have you heard of the
narcissism? Andreas Eld for 56 says, should we try and ask him my question of the feet of the passengers in his plane above the basketball, or try for a full bingo sheet instead? Oh, yeah. A full bingo sheet. So, oh, yes. In the railgun, just to be clear, the railgun has a parabolic arc because of gravity.
No, again, gravity is an unproven theory, ladies and gentlemen. I had to use that word there. We have two gravities I got one to consider here, ladies and gentlemen, and that would be Einsteinian and Newtonian. Now, Newtonian has been superseded by Einsteinian. And so Isaac Newton himself.
So, all right. Did he bring up, anybody, can you remember, did he bring up YouTube for evidence? Somebody can mention that, because I want to get that one there. Let's see. Hey, Jin, do you like the moon landings? And we're gonna go back. Do you like the moon landings?
Yeah, I like the moon landings. I love that because I know we never went, but we'll do that.
All right, there we go. All right. I
just wanted to get this.
Jin? Just a question. What makes things get blocked bottom up as they get farther away over the ocean?
Get blocked bottom up.
Yeah, why do things get blocked bottom up as they go?
That is God's law. That is the natural law, which is God's law of perspective and angular resolution from your position. That is the law. And can you please explain that in more detail? That's down to you.
Stringer News 1, yes, Jay Tolan. There's our YouTube. Got it.
It's a natural occurring.
Where can I find this law written in the physics books?
The physics is not going to help you here, mate.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Now, have you seen the photographs taken by the JAXA has a satellite, the Himawari 8. What do you think about the photographs from the Himawari 8?
The Himawari, which is known as sunflower in English. Right, Himawari in English means sunflower. In order for me, Jin CBR1, to acknowledge that a satellite is where they say it is, I would have to go there, see that satellite.
Oh, you'd have, deny everything you don't like. But what about the photographs?
Yes, the satellite is there. But I know it's not there, ladies and gentlemen. Right? It is not there. We don't have the technology to put anything in space. God
What,
the creator,
but
hasn't
Jin,
given
what
us
do you
that
think
permission.
about the
And
photographs
the only
that
way
they
I'm
have?
going to confirm, the only way that I would know it was there if I went there to see it for
Yes,
myself.
I get it. Your standard of evidence is you have to go there. But what do you think about the
It's
photographs?
impeccable, mate.
What?
My standard of evidence is impeccable.
Yeah, it's
You've
absurd.
got to
But
go there.
what about the photographs that they send?
Those photographs are all done on computers.
Oh,
It's
would
a
you say that there's?
computer
Would you
image
say
that
they're?
we look at.
Would you
not
say they're
photographs.
CGI?
Yeah, they're photographic images.
All right.
Photoshopped, and that's what they do. Superimpose Photoshop.
All right.
That's all they're doing.
Now,
there's nothing in space
Jin,
taking a picture of the Earth.
Jin,
We
Jin,
know
do you
this.
know? Jin, do you know that that planets move and that we can see them in different positions?
The planets move now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Do planets move?
Yes. Do you know
I
that?
can't confirm that.
You can't confirm it.
Confirm that at all. No, I don't know that. I haven't confirmed that planets move around.
Why?
No.
Why haven't you tried?
I know that the sun and the moon move above my head. That's what I can confirm.
Yeah, but have you never seen Venus or Jupiter or Mars?
As for other planets moving around, I can't confirm that. No. So I don't know that.
So you've never seen Venus or Mars or Jupiter?
When I've seen,
you can
Venus
see them with your own
and
eyes.
Mars, I haven't seen them moving, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen them at one time. I've seen them at another time.
Yeah,
there
but
they are.
And they're in a different
moving,
spot, right?
Sorry?
Are they in a different spot then the next time you see them?
I haven't noticed them in a different spot at all.
So they're in the same spot every time you see them.
When I haven't seen them for many, many years now. So I haven't seen them recently, that's for sure.
Why not?
Many, many years ago. So, and back then I wasn't a flat earther. So I wasn't.
Why haven't you seen them now?
To whether they were moving or not. There's Venus. Oh, nice, done, finish.
Why don't
Nothing
you just
exciting.
go look?
Rather boring, to be quite honest. Yeah.
All right. Well, all right.
Well,
all right. Well, I'm gonna do
It's
that.
not proving that the Earth is a globe, though,
All
ladies
right.
and gentlemen, which is the main crux of this debate.
No, but
You know,
no, Jin. I mean, you've declared that you
They're
don't care
moving
about
around. I
evidence.
don't
You'll
mind.
just
They're moving
hand
the goalposts.
hand
I
wave
don't
everything.
mind.
So,
They're not answering my questions. I don't mind. They're not
But-
able to prove anything at the moment.
but I did.
Okay.
I answered your question,
So
and then you
looking at the
you didn't
stars
even
does
address
not
it. So
determine
anyway,
the
people,
dimensions of the
I
ground
got a
under
couple
your
more
feet.
here.
Okay.
Oh, that's a
The
good question.
ground
So,
under your feet
you
is
know,
where all the
Andreas,
planets in the
there's no
stars.
chance that
Okay?
he's going to answer a question. He can't stop talking. He's
Carry
too
on.
rude. So, Andre, I don't think we can do that. Green Bull says, Gem Panda suggested this guy. Does he hate you? No, it wasn't Gem that suggested it. I don't think. It was somebody else. I'm not sure who.
I think it was the Queen of the Trolls.
It
that
could
lined
have
me
been
up
the
with you
Queen.
anyway.
All right. Brian
Queen of the
Peck
Trolls from the
says,
Gem Panda
Jin
server.
thinks linear
Said,
velocity
"Get
is a
in there,
force.
Get in there and cause mayhem." I said, "Yeah, I'll do that."
Jin thinks velocity is a force. He's lost. Yeah. Now, flat earthers generally don't understand introductory physics.
Philosophy is a way of life, but philosophy without integrity
Velocity.
is nothing.
Velocity. But there's no way that he's going to hear me say velocity to correct him. Pronon 1990 says, Jin and Lemonbird will burn in Hades for all the lies they spread.
Try and get that. If you got that, you're on your way.
Not yet.
Then
Come back and
try to be like water, as Bruce Lee said.
All right. Pronon 1990 says, dinosaurs are real. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Pick up all you globeheads and smash you on your rocks of
Jin,
disingenuousness
Jin,
and
Jin,
clean you out.
Jin, do you like Jurassic Park? Are you a fan of Jurassic Park? Okay. Are you a fan of Jurassic Park, the movie? No? All right.
Come on, what's next?
Microraptor says,
Landings, do you? Do you want to get whipped up with your moon landings now?
Microraptor says, for 50 secs, MC Toon looks like your favorite science teacher. Flurfs won't get that, though, as they never had a favorite science teacher.
Very funny. Very funny.
Oh, thank you for that.
Now, Mike, you mentioned the moon landings.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Indie Tiger's sci-fi review says flat earthers are just fat shaming our beautiful full-figured girl.
Look, Mike, you were asking me about the moon landings earlier.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right. Well, yeah, go right ahead, Jin. I go right ahead.
Are you of the opinion?
Todd Burt for 5 Australian says, imagine the noise of Jin 33 you see in Russian vids trapped in a lift together. For those of you in America, lift means elevator.
I'm asking you a question.
All right.
If you can
I can hear you, but you will, no matter what you ask, you will pre-reject the answer that it gives. So there's no point.
not at all.
Uncle Steve says for £5, he said back then he wasn't a flat earther. So what made him become one? Perhaps it was a YouTube video? Certainly in 2015, which was when all the YouTubers were doing it.
You're ignoring
Yes.
my question then, Mike.
Absolutely. I am completely ignoring your question. Yes, you're correct.
But you've thrown in the towel.
No, Jin, I'm just mocking you now.
Are you throwing in the towel, Mike?
Jin, I'm just mocking you now. That's all. Rocket Scientist says for 5 Canadian, Jin, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings when I called you stupid. I really thought you already knew.
I don't know who that was, but that guy who's speaking obviously is a retard. Doesn't know his ass from his elbow.
Obviously. The Science of Science says globe science, step 1, Earth is a globe. Step 2, Wikipedia says Earth is a globe. Step 3, experiment. Scientific consensus, no model. NASA ISS Edge. Step 5, results, Earth is a globe. Well, no, that's not quite it. So I see YouTube is in chat. Now, YouTube was here last week, and I don't know if this is the same one, because this YouTube has 2 subscribers. And the other YouTube has more than 2 subscribers. So I think it's the wrong one. But Ute, maybe you could confirm outside of YouTube who you are, if this really is the same Ute that is in other chats. Anyway, the Science of Science, no. The Science of Science is I love that name. That's a great name. Science is falsifiable, and if it's not falsifiable, it's not science. At least that's the general idea. There's some other, like Quine Duum have some things to say about that, but anyway. So anyway, sorry, Jin, you can't use math, and you weren't there. That's your standard, so none of it matters. Anyway, no, step 1 is not Earth is a globe. That's flat Earth. Step 1 would be, let's figure something out, right? So step 1, yeah, I did. In fact, here I have. Let's show right here.
As a ball can be in the vacuum of space without a container.
Oh, another one.
When you see the Earth as a ball in space,
I got it. I got another one.
Is minus 10 to the 17 torr.
Yeah, but what keeps the air pressure in, do you think? What do you think keeps the air pressure in?
The air pressure is kept in by the container.
What do you call that container?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it has to be some kind of container. I don't know the shape of that container.
But do you have a name for it?
I haven't been there to touch it.
You haven't been there. Oh. But you believe that it's there. You haven't been there, but you believe that it's there. Okay. But what do you call it? What do you call it? Look at the curve. Look at the curve. All right. So what do you call that? What do you call that container?
We flat earthers, some of us call it the dome. Some of us don't call it anything.
Okay. Three more. This will be my, if this happens, this is my first one.
We just don't know it yet. We don't know the height.
All right.
We don't know how far it extends. We're not able to go there to touch.
The Science of Science. If you'd like to come on and talk about the Science of Science sometime, or maybe the philosophy of science, I would love to entertain that conversation. Contact me. I would absolutely love to have that conversation. Let's see here. The Science of Science is Pythagoras is credited as being the first person to believe the globe myth. The globe did not come from science or the scientific method. Well, I don't think you actually understand science, Mr. The Science of Science.
Great stuff. But so did you hear what I said, Mike?
No, I'm not paying attention to you, really.
Not paying attention.
No, because there's no point in talking to you, because you ask for evidence, but you won't accept anything. There's but it doesn't matter. Everything I give you, you just hand wave dismiss. That's how dishonest you are. You are a pathological liar, Jin. That's the problem with you. The Science of Science says, anyone notice G missing from F equals MA? I mean, capital G? That's the wrong equation, Science of Science. Let me just give you the correct equation here. I don't know why. All right. There's F equals MA. Oh, I'll switch here so you can see. F equals MA right there. You see that? This is Newton's the second law of motion. See? Now Newton didn't agree with gravity. Sorry. That's the second law. This is the second law of motion. Try to keep up.
It's an unproven theory, Mike. Okay? Listen to the English language. It's an unproven theory.
That's simply your claim. All right. So there is the law of universal gravitation. It's called a law. The law of universal gravitation. Now this saying it's not a law doesn't stop it from being a law. It's still a law. Anyway, so you can solve for that. So, well, science doesn't prove. Pseudoscience is that's on the other side there.
It is not a law.
Okay. It is not a law. Here we go. Now here's the beautiful thing. You can take that equation, Science of Science, and we can do that because it's the force is the same. And you've got G M1 M2 over R equals MA. Isn't that cool? And now this M, when you're talking about the Earth, to get the actual acceleration that an object would feel on the surface of the Earth, this M is the same as typically M2, right? Typically when you do this, M1 is the mass of the Earth. M2 is the mass of the object on the Earth. So what you can do is they're going to cancel. That's actually M2 there. I'll write it down so you can see the Science of Science. Right, there it is. I wrote it down. Now, you cancel those, right? And you get this. I'll show you. A equals G M1 over R squared. Now, here's the beauty. Right here. You can do this. And you know what you're going to get when you apply the gravitational constant and the mass of the Earth and the radius of the Earth? You're going to get 9.8 meters per second squared for the acceleration. That's what's so beautiful about it. Now science doesn't prove things, but this confirms, because this formula here, when you put it like this, gives us 9.8 meters per second squared. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And so if you wonder, Science of Science, what are you talking about, big G or little g? This is big G. Little g is this one. It's A, acceleration, but typically little g is also the acceleration due to gravity. So that's what we get there. So there it is. It's beautiful because it gives the actual empirically measured number. It matches observation. It's so powerful. So, and we've got, on the other hand here, we've got Jin who says it doesn't apply, but doesn't actually have any background to it. He just has denial, which is a very sad position. Anyway, all right, let's keep moving here. We've got Eddie Reese says, the Science of Science sounds like the title of a PBS Nova series that you had to watch in 6th grade. Oh, I love that. Gaming with Both Hands for $5 says, breaking news, 40 people missing after world's first flat earther surfing competition. Witnesses say they seem to disappear from the bottom up.
That's the natural law. That's natural law. That is.
So here's what's funny. Jin is declaring this as natural law just as himself. He just said he gets to decide what natural law is all by himself without actually doing any measurements or experiments. The Science of Science for $2 says, yes, thank you. I did not know the second law. I don't know. It's the second law of motion. No, and then he misquotes. I don't know if you hear it much. He misquotes the second law of thermodynamics. He obviously doesn't know what it is. The Science of Science says, obviously I'm talking about little g. Any object at rest would have to overcome little g. Certainly it would. And like I said, right here, we've got little g. It's a in this equation, but it's little g equals that. Put the numbers in. Go ahead and see if you get 9.8 meters per second squared. Go ahead. Anyway, Jin, Jin's not muted. Jin, yeah, he's not muted. He's just not very, I don't have him super loud because he won't stop talking. He's kind of rude. So they can hear you, just not very loud. So, all right, Jin, clearly you are a debater that is not in good faith. Since you demand evidence, but pre-dismiss the evidence before it's even given to you, that is not good faith. That is called sea lioning, actually. Connell Silverfur has been a member for 20 months. Says, Jin, take a breath. Only insecure children cannot stop talking long enough to learn. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. But when I give you the answer, you deflect and move the goalposts. So there it is. Hugh Jar says, who's been a member for 18 months, why do flurfs sound smarter when you cannot hear them?
What a load of crap that is. Look, I've asked.
Oh, that's cute. I love that. All right. Let's see if I missed any here.
I've asked you about the air pressure.
All right, there it is.
How do you have
All right.
an Earth spinning in space and air pressure without a containment? How?
Oh, there is containment. It's gravity. Yeah, there it is. All right.
Again,
All right.
is not a proven,
So you've claimed.
it's an unproven
So you've claimed.
proven theory.
But science is about falsifiability. So as soon as you talk about proving things, you've exited science. So I will stick with science.
Cop out, because we want to know the truth. So you have to prove it.
No, actually, that's not how science works. But Jin, all right. Jin, I appreciate that you came on. I'm going to wrap this up because I have another one coming up. I'm actually 17 minutes late for already. And you've provided nothing. You had no evidence, no measurements, nothing but denial. That would be interesting. So all right. Well, I'll keep in touch, and when the crowd demands it, we shall do it again. Citizen 9 is asking, can we just take a Jin intermission? Jin, you might be a crowd favorite. I don't know. But I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'm gonna move on. I've got another one, and your friend, what's his name? UK Gaming. Maybe he can come on in the next one. But all right, people. Well, Jin, you want to say anything as we leave?
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening, and pay attention. The Earth isn't a spinning ball. You have no scientific evidence for it. And if you believe it, then you need some help. Just look into it. The Earth is beautiful. It's flat. It's ecstasy. Catch you guys on the flip side. Bye now. Thanks.
All right, we'll see you.